Welcome to the other comic book show, Sunday here on Kingdom of Nerds. Today I'm joined with Sticks Boy 73, Marco, Joe's Dolan, and Ron from Palm Beach Presser. What's going on, guys?
What's up? That's a nice intro. I like that. We should fix our intros.
It's kickoff Sunday. Some of our shows do have some fixed intros.
Well, okay, you guys should fix the rest of our intros. So all the shows I show up on our channel from Renovision have intros like that. How about that?
That works.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Part of my intro was done by Joe. So.
Well, there you go. Good job, Joe. All right,
So,
we're gonna talk about intros the whole time. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, good. Well, that's good.
Let me talk some football.
But as everybody's aware, CGC put out a statement on Friday, which I'll bring that up right now. The first one was back in May 15th. CGC identified a batch of inner wells that were warped and removed from production. It appears that these got through. Please send the affected books back via mechanical error and they'll be taken care of. Then we got a statement this past Friday. Hi all, I have not read today's post yet as I am on vacation. Here is a new statement I have been given to post. We have seen reports that some of the soft plastic wells used inside the CGC holder exhibit a curve when viewed from the side. After learning of this, we conducted extensive review and found that the smallest well size, which is used for the thinnest comic books, is more pliable than other wells and in some cases will exhibit a slight curve. Importantly, this curve does not cause any damage to the comic book and does not affect the grade in any way. The angle of bend required to create a stress line simply cannot be done with a CGC holder. In addition, very high-grade comic books can still exhibit minimal stress lines according to CGC's official grading standards. We do not consider this slight curve to be a mechanical error that requires reholdering. Still, we are always listening and want to serve our customers the best way we can. We have found that our next largest well size does not exhibit the slight curve and has started to use that well in lieu of the smallest size. We appreciate all feedback from our community, and we are grateful to be Hobby's first choice for grading for nearly 25 years. Many of us are collectors too, and we care deeply about the services we provide. If you have any comments,
okay, we get it. You don't have to read out their number. We got what they're saying here. I think we could have highlighted some of that stuff. All right, Bruce.
I think they're ready for our comments, huh? They've asked for them. So that is a public relations nightmare, in my opinion. I mean, what could have been a great statement. Hey, we found a problem, even though it took us 4 months to realize that the wells are too pliable, which again, really hard to believe because they were originally notified 3 months ago, and it doesn't seem they really paid much attention to the whole situation until about 2 weeks ago. And I guess sometime in that last 2 weeks, they bent the well and said, "Whoa, look at that!" It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, but that statement should have been great. Hey, we found a problem. We have resolved problem. It will not happen again. That would have been a win. But they had to go and destroy. I mean, basically the fact that they may have solved the problem, and that's all we could say at this point is they may have, which was overshadowed by a number of really disturbing sentences.
Yeah. So I think once again, it's from each person's point of view. I was talking to Bruce about this earlier. The majority of books I've gotten back, almost all of them actually, but now a lot of it's Silver Age or, early bronze and stuff like that, hasn't had any issue at all. Not one issue to it. A lot of the people that I know personally know, see them every day, see them every week, people that have been down to on-site grading at Heroes, and I mean over 100 books there. I think the most books probably out of 1,000 that were graded, there was one group that we came back with one batch, and he had a couple books that had the warp wall in it, but it wasn't affecting the book. It just wasn't affecting the book. Now, I've seen this stuff on the internet. And I believe there is something to it. I'm not saying that there isn't something to it. But I also understand what they're saying. Because even if you go through like Bruce, how many books have you submitted in the last? You've had at least 50, 60 books submitted, right?
I've submitted over 100 in the last 6
Over
months.
100. You got one damage book. You know,
Yes, one damage book.
the ones I have. So like I get it, because when it's your books and they're getting screwed up, which we've all had books screwed up at CGC. I think that's the point.
Yeah.
If you've done this long enough, you're going to have books screwed up by them.
Yes.
You just are. You just are. You kind of have to take that as a wash. But I think I have some of the books, because Bruce was sending me tons of pictures. I'm like, hey, my man, that's not the same thing. Like, there's people that were claiming that all this stuff was happening from inner wells and stuff, and you're like, no, that's not how that would work. And also, too, if the inner well is tighter, also some of the descriptions were very hard to understand what people are saying. You're saying this is and if it's what they're saying, now just let's say if it's what they're saying, that they're only using it on the thinner books, which would mean they're using it on the real new modern Marvel books. They're not using it on any of the cardstock stuff. They're not using it on anything else. But I've seen cardstock people say that their books were warped in the cardstock well. So how's that happening? And they were showing spines, not just spine ticks, but they were showing color breaking spine ticks. Also, in either well that they're blaming on this, they're saying, and I'm not talking about 4 months ago in May, when we know for sure, and they've admitted openly for sure, that there was some bad wells that got through, right? And that means the ones that they're putting in there. Okay.
That should have been the first statement, though. That should have been the first thing they said is, this is not directly related to the May issue, or this is related to the May issue. That would have helped and gone a long way.
I think that's what it should have been, too. But you got to remember, Mike's just communicating, like, he's just doing a short version communication of what CGC told him to say. I mean,
Sure.
And I'm not defending Mike, but that's what his job, I mean, that's what his moderator as a book is. He's not really like the guy to get after it.
Yeah, nobody's hating on Mike.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's
He's got
not the problem.
too friendly of a face in that photo.
Right. No, but I don't think people understand something. Like sometimes people see this and they don't, you know, you've got some interaction where you've done enough pressing to figure it out, enough grading. Some people, they grade like 5, 6, 10 books a year, and you know, it's not the same, right? So they don't know that this guy Mike's just like peaceful.
Well, it shouldn't be Mike's job to launder that message either to the masses. That should have just been, and maybe was that message posted on CGC somewhere?
Yeah, Mike does it in the boards. Yeah, so Mike's always Mike's the
but on CGC's site because I didn't even check
on the CGC
site
board
as well.
Yes.
On that particular forum feed, not so much as a press release on the whole site, but it was kind of.
I mean, that's where they should have put it. They should have just put it out there with their news, and just addressed the statement to everybody formally, and just put it out that way.
Yeah. Who is the president of CGC? What is his name again?
Matt Nelson.
Matt Nelson. He's been on tons of YouTubers shows to talk about other things. I'm surprised he hasn't come out and wanted to do an interview with some YouTube channel or something.
Once again, I think we have to see, like, it's a big issue once again for the people who are on the boards, and it's for the people who watch certain internet content. But in the general comic book community, do remember that's a very small portion, right? That's the submitting that's going on at CGC compared to the people who are seeing this issue or complaining about this issue it's very small. So, like, I know we all think we're so important in our own worlds, and I'm extremely important. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, not all the things we hear from it is. And I'm not going to point out people who've said it before, but on the boards. But there's definitely a couple instances on that board where if I was that type of person, I'd be calling bullshit. And I think you've seen it before too. There's some bullshit going on in the board. Yeah. Everybody starts piling on and everything else. Now there are some cases that aren't. So are we talking? That's the thing that's hard to figure out, because it right now seems like a very minimal problem. And for those people who got hit by it, anything you get hit by from them, we've all had it before. You know, there's that week where we get hit with a submission back, and you're like, these motherfuckers, I'm never using them again. They're horrible. And then the next submission comes back 3 weeks later. And you're like, oh, hey, they gifted me some grades, and you're loving them like you know, happens somebody
more
else.
Often. Yeah. And Mark, I'm glad you're here and you have that point of view, because one of the reasons I wanted to speak to you guys tonight is, well, I'm not an influencer. I don't have a YouTube channel. You know, this ain't my thing, but I do kind of feel that, you know, I'm a little bit of I want to get the information out there to people that do submit. So if you don't really feel it's that big of a problem yet, maybe we can convince you that it may very well be. I'll talk about my own history over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, when I started getting books back from CGC. I now up to 100 books that have been back that are modern. I have a group of vintage books expected back this week. But out of my 100, I am now trying to, I've sent photos, I've communicated with a very good customer service rep at CGC. His name is Lex. He told me the process that they're taking, send photos, show us the defects, show us a full shot of the front. And supposedly Matt Nelson is looking at all of them. Now I would think he's a little busier to be able to look at people's individual problems, especially with as many as we're hearing about. But they were submitted on Wednesday. I'm sorry, 17 out of 100. I felt were sufficiently damaged enough that they should be considering re-pressing them and re-holdering them, because the grades are not appropriate for what you're seeing, basically. And mostly, I should count how many 9/8s. I'm going to guess that 10 or 12 of them are 9/8, a couple of 9/6s, but I don't have that at the tip of my tongue. So I'm sorry, I'm not prepared with that. For a response. But as a presser, that statement in that line in their statement saying that, these defects are acceptable for the grades that are provided really kind of sticks in my craw to some degree, because I have a lot of 9/8s that have really bad light reflecting spine ticks. I have plenty of 9/4s and 9/6s that you can't find a damn thing wrong with. And we have a lot of 9/9s out there. So basically they're telling us, hey, 9/4, 9/6, 9/8, 9/9, what's the difference? It's all the same, apparently. And that is concerning for the legitimacy of grading. And that's why I wanted to kind of bring a little bit more light to this and put a little more pressure on them, because they're kind of saying, hey, there may be some bends, but there were spine ticks before. They just look worse now, and that may very well be true. But why get your books pressed? You might as well send them a book and say, hey, why don't you figure out what it could be if it was pressed?
Well, I mean, they kind of do. They kind of do that. And that is kind of one of their services. And here is a point to that. And I agree with you. But here's one of the points that we're not bringing
without
up.
Pressing it. And then
I know. Well, they go, hey, they do a pre-screen press, so they will do a pre-screen press for you.
Yeah,
to tell you that they think they can grade.
But they don't say, hey, it could be a 9/8, if you press it, but we'll just give it a 9/8 now.
But they used to do that too. I think that's part of the point we're missing here, and I would like to address 2 points on it because you're a presser. Here, remember, when you're pressing books, all pressers in general, you're not actually fixing the book. You are not returning it to its original state. There is already the infrastructure of the paper product, how they originally formed it, is already damaged. We're just trying to make it look, or at least structure it to its similar to what its original shape is, for one. So the damage is already done. That's just, I know, but that's what it is, because you're not feeding.
You can talk about finger bends being.
But we're not putting pulp back into and everything else. Yeah. Okay, number 2, though, the one part that they really have screwed up on, and this is something I truly miss and they need to go back to, especially when they first started doing pre-screening, they used to give you grader notes. And even if the grader notes were like just four words. Four words. Yeah, scuff corners, whatever. Sticks, that shit ain't funny. Even if they give you something, right? Corner scuffing is what they said, not scuff corners. But like, even if they give you something, it would at least give you a little bit of tip where you could go like, and sometimes you'd be like, you mother bleeper, that isn't it, right? But at least I would say 9 out of 10 times you look at it and go, okay, that's what this grader was looking at. And here was the other thing. Here's the other thing. Different graders were looking at different stuff. And if you had done it enough, you knew what the majority of the graders were looking for, and you were going to try to hit it out through whatever. Okay.
Yep.
So I think, like, if there is one thing that the community should really get back to, and I think it would help everybody, including pressers and including people, we do the segment over on Renovision where we were literally showing people like, hey, you know what, this could get you there, because these things, like some of these spine ticks, before this even happened, we were talking about, like, these qualify. Like, we were going through actual books and saying, hey, yes, this is on the borderline, but you should probably get this pressed, because if you can get it a little bit better, you have a better shot of getting a straight 9/8 than it falling into the 9/6 slot. Or if it was, depending on what other silver gray books perhaps it was.
Sure.
But one of the things I think is, like, everybody's saying, hey, my books, I'm the greatest presser, I'm the greatest looker over of books, I'm the greatest, like, evaluator, I could grade this book better. I'm not saying you, I'm saying everybody does this. Everybody thinks they're the best at everything, and then they send it in there. And in some cases, because I looked over some of the books that you had, and in some cases, I would say the majority of them, I was like, okay, I can see that he has a gripe on there. But there was a couple books in there where I was like, I don't know. That's
Sure.
within
And in
that
that
grade
17,
range.
some of them could be considered all right.
Yeah, I mean,
we
it's
can let this slide.
if it's a little
Some-
sunnier, a little not. You got laid the night before, not. You know what I mean? That's how it goes.
Sure,
So, but yeah, if they give grader notes, then you can tell, like, hey, did
It would
you
be
get the
nice.
reach around or not last night? Because if you did, cool. If not, okay, I'm just gonna resubmit it. And like, I think they need to bring that back. I think this again is something that shows them. And the people who were on the board that were saying like they're not responding back fast enough, they're not. They did. They actually did a good job. Their customer service is still. I mean, I'm not. I've dealt with other companies too.
Yeah.
But
Good luck.
again,
Good luck in the customer service or responses that you're getting.
And again, they're not going to come out and take 100% liability because
Oh, yeah.
you'd have to be an idiot in a business to do that.
Well, also too, then
Understandable.
every clown and their cousins, you're going to have to do everything, even if it wasn't your
Yeah.
fault at that point. So
So
But
I
yeah, I
understand,
mean, I
I
think
understand the
they have-
wordsmithing and crafting, but I wish they would have been a little clearer. And to your point, I think if you put grader notes on there, it will make sense because if something comes back and then you see a color breaking, on a book and it's not in the grader's notes, then you could say, oh, okay, well maybe something happened
Sure.
Yeah.
And
after
there's
it was
plenty of
graded.
those
By the
examples.
way, it was whole. Yeah.
I mean, you could pull up the cert numbers on my books or any others, and you could see what they look like, when they encapsulate them as opposed
Yeah.
to what they look like now.
yeah,
So it's the damage occurred after the grading in most cases, which is why there's so many 9/8 that look like, they got run over.
but here's part of it too. Not to get back to it, but when they used to give us actual grader notes too, and I think that's where I don't know if you haven't heard before, our rubber band theory,
Yes.
which is they use a rubber band like this size for people that don't know.
Theory
They take
or fact?
well, it's fact. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You-
But our
you
theory is
stated it as fact. So
our theory is that's where the damage comes from. That's what our theory is because we don't technically see the books afterwards, but
right.
we've noticed that it's been in there before. So we've actually seen this done. They take a rubber band like this, they take it, they put it around your books, they put a piece of paper in there. If it's still loose, some of the guys will flip it back around, tighten it down, and you could see what this will do to your books, right?
Sure.
Anybody who's gotten on site before, seen it before, if you got to go through the system before, you've seen it. That's how they keep your books separated from other books, and they stack them up and they put them off because it's not like they're just carrying yours. We're all very important, but they're not carrying your one book back into a back room for you. They're just not doing that. Yeah, they're carrying a whole stack of them in. So that has always been an issue for us. And when they stopped grader notes, because we started asking the question about it after we'd seen it and after we've had this done, they stopped the actual grader notes. And I don't care what they say about how they scan the books in. It really does. Like, if that was the case, then we could scan our books in, they could send us an encapsulation, and we could encapsulate the book. The truth of the matter is, unless you tilt it, unless you actually get to look at it in hand, if you blacklight it, if you can actually, because that's it. A lot of the books we're seeing online, even when we see the scans, are from the scan angle. And you know as well as I do, you
Yes.
cannot always tell the damage that is being occurred in a scan, okay? It just
Right.
isn't. And all the books that we're seeing of pictures of the damage post-well is on a lighted angle so that you could actually see what the damage is.
Correct. Sure.
And so, like, that's where I'm saying, like, I get it, but if you give us at least the grader notes, and the reason why they said they took them away was one, to keep the price down, which back then, by the way, the price for moderns, I think, was like $16, which it's not anymore. So, like, don't tell us you're trying to keep the price down anymore. It's just not the same. And number two, they said they were trying not to overstaff because they didn't have enough staff. Well, ever since the run of the pandemic, their excuse now is that they have too much staff and not enough work to do. So they could do signings, they could do everything else. They're going back to on-site, they're doing that. So, like, both of those things have passed. They've been able to staff up. They're charging us a shit ton more than they've ever charged us before. So I don't see the excuse of them not putting. The only thing I see is it helps them in covering their own asses too, because now all of a sudden you say slight spine tick over on the right corner, and the time the guy shows you in the light, and after flowing the book around and doing everything else, and who knows what they're doing with it? Because let's be honest, we don't know how well these encapsulations are compared to any other encapsulation they've ever had, because every encapsulation from any company ever has always had some type of problem. Let's get the notes out there. I think that's the thing that all the boards I haven't seen, and I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody say it on the board yet, is can we at least get back to encapsulation? And here's the notes. And here's the other thing. I think they're going to try to excuse this away with the 74-75 year, because they said ultra thin, and I don't know what the ultra thin, like, I don't know what the size. I wish they would have given the size of the inner well, right?
Well, that brings up a really good point because, I don't think we've only seen this in ultra thin, more recent books. I think we've seen it in a lot other books as well. And it brings us back to the question of what changed. Now, was there the fact that maybe it's the same inner well and their method of closing the cases changed, but also possibly maybe they have a different supplier. Maybe they chose to save some money on a thinner well, thinking it would be fine. Maybe they have $1 million in inventory on these wells and they didn't want to throw them away. But for some reason, 4+ months have passed with them knowing about this problem and not dealing with it until the cry out about it became extreme. And I would imagine it has dramatically affected them over the last couple of weeks. It certainly affected my business over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the sendbacks, that's the point, when they start sending them back.
Well, the only thing that's changed in the last 6 months.
Yeah, let's explain what we just said right there, because I think sometimes we're talking in different language.
Go ahead.
Over the last 3 weeks, as a retailer, and I assume you don't just press, you sell the books you're pressing, right?
I am much more of a presser than a seller.
Okay. And then people are complaining about your pressing. Yeah. Okay, I get it. So, there has been a lot of returns for the curve well over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Some of those that I've seen come back, I would agree on, even though they didn't cause damage to the book. I'd agree on them. There's a curving to the well, but some of the other ones, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, how long did they have rainbow jizz on the books?
Oh, the Newton rings.
The Newton rings.
Newton rings. It was like 6 years of Newton rings. All of a sudden, somebody talked about it on the internet. Next thing you know, we're getting books sent back for Newton rings. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah,
it's been there forever.
Another reason possibly those, the cases may have changed a little more than we expect, because the reason those Newton rings were there is because that inner well was touching the top well.
Yeah, top well.
If there was a lot of space, any space really left, you'd be able to shake that Newton ring off, or sometimes you can make that.
You could pop it.
Yeah,
you can pop the ring,
sometimes, not always. Sometimes that inner well went right back to the front cover again. There seems to be sufficient space now to allow the banana effect.
They had floating wells before that too. Like, wasn't it Gen 3 was the float well? And wasn't it Gen 2 that had the roll well, where it literally would roll the spine right off? So, I mean, this isn't the first time we've had CGC problems, right?
Sure. No, there have been.
No, I mean, it has been. It's and every time it comes up, I know everybody wants to put gate on the back end of it. But what it sounds like,
gate?
Fucking roller gate, side rim gate, like this gate, that gate. What gate's this one? Is this inner well curve gate or something?
Ben gate.
Ben gate, banana gate.
You guys should take a vote and make it official for the rest of the internet community to actually have a single term to use going forward.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take your vote.
Just call it CGC gate at all of them for all the experiences for it.
I would prefer CGC just put out a clearer guidance and better language so that we don't have to call it anything.
Captain Hookgate. Captain Hookgate.
Swing
a little bit to the left gate.
I'm pretty sure this went through legal and their
PR people. And that's the real shame. I think it went through legal last. Liable.
So can I ask you a question? Do you think there might be a little bit? And now, I actually think that Lord Ross, the stuff that happened to him, because I saw those books and a couple other people around that time, I really do think it looks like that is a different situation than what is going on, what people have been reporting in the 3 or 4 weeks. And if we could throw out, I would like to say generously 1/3 of the BS, right? Because there's at least 1/3 that's BS. But if we're taking some of the books for the reality of where, and this is what I'm saying, if you look at some of those wells, if the well issue is if it's the same well as a defective well, it's going to cause similar outcomes, right? Can we say it that way? Because I'm not going to try to use the word damage. I'm just going to say outcomes. Similar outcomes to a multitude of books. Now, we can tell that some of these books, there's common errors that you see in books that are occurring that are distribution errors, shall we say, that we know are distribution errors, and people are trying to claim as the well thing. That doesn't add up. But the ones that we see where we starting to see the curve hook, right? Plus side, I won free wings for a year. Who won? Oh, Zags, what's up, bro? Nice. Where do wings for?
Who cares?
But getting to it, do you think that they actually did just something you said made sense, and they've done it before, and they've actually had, huh?
Something made sense?
Well, no, I mean, something just clicked in my head.
3 weeks.
So it clicked in my head that reminded me of something that had happened with them before, with a well situation, actually with those free floating wells. They had gotten in a multitude of batches, and they actually did wipe them out afterwards, but they had gotten in a multitude of batches, and they hadn't told anybody because they were having a problem with Chinese distribution, or wherever it wasn't Chinese, wherever the hell they were getting it from. They were having a problem with the distribution, and they had switched over 50-50 between two different wells that they were using, and one of the product wells, they ended up having to trash it all because it was taking, like, literally rolling this. It was causing a pressure issue where it was rolling the spines just right into shit. So this is a very long time ago. But they did say they were using it on. The problem that I have with the wording out of all of this, I don't care about all the legal mumble jumble you use in the generalities. The one thing that I would like the clarity on is, what do you consider thinner books? Like, what are you considering thinner books? Like, that's the one out of all the things they said. Is it like, oh, all of a sudden any book that is Marvel / 2016? I mean, because Marvel, I mean, let's be honest, the paper's been shit for a while on a lot of books. But not just Marvel. Everybody says, oh, that Marvel paper. Dude, a lot of paper sucks dick. All right.
My question was going to be, like, page count and thickness of the book, as opposed to which well they're using for that book. So, like, that would be the question. I would say the page count is, too many, and it goes. You know how it is with any kind of bag and board. You put too thick of a book in the bag and board.
But hold on though. How are you deciding? Because you're not doing count. That's not how their system works. No. I get what you're saying, but that's not how their system works. You're not sitting here and going, oh, this book has 32 pages. Hey, Timmy, could you bring me over a small well? That's not how they do it. They divide your book, huh?
It's probably a default unless they're dealing with a giant
that's what it is. It gets ranked by what you fill out your form as. So if you're doing modern tier, all the modern tiers go into
a modern
well. Wide. If they're 32 pages or less, they get this default well probably.
Yeah. So what I'm just saying though is, if you put it in the modern tier, you're going to the default well. That's just where you're going.
Exactly. Sure.
So, like, saying
unless
that
you're looking at a double-sized issue or something, sure.
Yeah. So saying that you're going to a thinner well, like, that doesn't even make sense how you showed us the process before.
Right.
Because they've shown us the process before. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even make sense with what you're saying. And that's where I think, once again, with greater notes, like, if we're going to have an issue, if we really are going to complain about something, be like, that shit don't make sense. Just clarify us. Please clarify what the heck you're talking about there. Because I think it would. I think if you would clarify what you're... Because what I really think effing happened was that, they probably screwed up. They probably took something that was supposed to be thrown away and they put it there, and then they put modern books in it, and it got in a stack of modern books. And if you got pushed into that stack, guess what? Your shit's fucked and everybody else is fine. And that's just...
I think that's probably the case.
That's probably what happened.
They have a batch of wells. Who knows how many? I don't know. What do you think they buy at a time? 100,000? That could be $500,000 worth of.
It depends. But the one time where they had the rolls, wasn't it something like it was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had to get rid of them.
Yeah, that might be the case. They wanted to.
Let's not forget they also changed the case recently because of people.
I don't think the case has much to do about it. I don't think.
No, I'm just saying they replaced the case too. Because
that's because of bad actors. That's not something I blame on CGC. Because if you want to talk about it, CBCS, like 2 years before that, people were doing the same shit. They're pulling out the letter. Remember that? They're pulling out the letter thing and putting it back in. So that's not something I blame it. That's because there's always going to be douchebags in this industry that just do shitty stuff because they're fucking losers.
No, douchebags in the comic community?
Yeah, I know, right? No. That's so I don't blame that on them.
The first time hearing it.
They never said they were like a national security company. They just said they were somebody who gives you their opinion on a grade of book. That's it.
Well, I did have two wells that one is from.
How come you get the big screen? We were all talking to these little windows when we talk. Yeah. You have something to say to the giant screen? Go ahead.
There you go. You're right there. No, this one is from last year. This well is slightly bigger than this one that I received back a few weeks ago.
Put them next to each other. Dude, what are we doing here? Let's see what it looks like.
So one's wider?
Is it wider?
Yeah, the spawn is a little wider.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the whole, not just the way they encapsulate it.
As a whole,
the well itself is larger. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite a bit larger too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the outside portion is, but that's not where the press. Hold on now.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, but cut off the access that isn't encapsulating the book. Because if it's a bigger book, that doesn't make sense. Because if it was a bigger book in the same capsulation, the bigger book would press in. The smaller book would fit better. What they're saying is the inner part of the inner well is smaller. You haven't shown us any difference between the inner part of the inner well and the. Yeah. So see where the press is right there. What's the? Okay,
Yes.
now show us the other one.
It's slightly.
That's gonna be really hard to see this.
Yes, it's really hard to see, but it's slightly bigger on the spawn book than the
No, on the
Overall
outside.
demand. The overall width is
The overall.
the edging
what
is
does
a
that have
little,
to do
yeah.
with? But once again, what does that have to do with the? That's not.
I'm saying that the portion that is pressed in is slightly smaller on this. You can't see it very well. I'm not saying
Okay.
overall.
I think he's
Inner
trying to
well.
make a correlation
part.
between the inner well and the size of the casing
Yes.
and what that they've changed.
Right, but the
Yeah, 'cause
inner
if the
well,
area that's
the
holding
inner
the
well's
book
smaller
is the
now.
same. Yeah.
It is smaller. Like the access of the inner wall is smaller than the
Right.
old access. So, but what they said in their statement was that the inner well, because of smaller, was creating a bend. The bend would be created because it's pressing on the book, right, from the area. The outside text
It's
that's
less
not on the
gain.
inside of the book wouldn't make any difference because if it was the bigger one and it was hitting the top and bottom of the outside case to cause the bend, then the spawn book would be bent, not the newer book. The newer book would be bent if only the inner pressed area is smaller. And that's what I think they're saying. Isn't that what they were trying to say? That is what they're saying, right? Like, we
believe so.
understand. Like,
honestly, I'd take most of the statement with a grain of salt anyway. I think they're just trying to word it in a
yeah,
way
I
that
think they're
gets
just trying to
them
work it
by.
in.
So
I think it's
you
like
know,
we're
there may
setting
not
these
be
ones on fire.
factual matters in there. I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, the purpose of the statement was, hey, we fixed the problem. Send us
Yeah.
your books. By the way, don't send us the ones that we've damaged because we don't want to do anything about them.
We're not doing anything else about them.
So that's the gist of what they said.
Yeah, which sounds about right. What it is there's not enough of them that were damaged for us to care. Sorry for your luck. We'll give you some good grades later. I'd submit your books right now. I mean, so to be honest, saying it hasn't affected us, like even though we haven't had those numbers back, we have reduced in our last two lows. We reduced them out, and going out to do on-site grading, we've cut it down to less than a third of what we were going to take out there because we're not going to gamble with it. We're not going to. It's not worth it for us. So, I mean, I hear you, but I tell you people out there, submit your books so that when it's over, I can start submitting more books again.
I have a little bit of good news from a customer that just got 11 books back on Friday,
Okay.
unbent. New modern books, he said, were unbent. In 2 of the 11 books, they did include those wedges along the spine to give it some strengthening, which is something we have not seen a lot of lately. I don't know if you guys, they used to be very common in books from what I remember, but sometimes you see them at the bottom, sometimes you see them along the spine of a book.
Yeah, especially when they were using that
right?
float
That
well.
strengthening piece of plastic that goes about an inch.
Yeah,
There's a double one. That was how they were starting to fix the float well. Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
that
corners, you mean? They're for the corners?
Yeah, when you show, there's a photo I sent Bruce, not that one, but
not that one.
That
That's
other
not
one. Find the wedge real quick, Bruce.
Why are you
It's,
just you're trying
really
to look at some girl? But...
There you go.
There you
So
go.
if you
there it
zoom
is.
in along the spine, you'll see it's got that plastic extra piece there. So that's actually one of the 11 books he got back.
That's like around 18. They used to do that big around, wasn't it 18? 2018 when they used to put one on the bottom side too on the floating wall to fix the floating wall issue. Probably in 2000.
That reinforcement may have helped during this whole process. But they chose not to add it for some reason, but now they are. Which, hey, whatever works. But so maybe
if that helps the process, I'm all for
they
it.
may have resolved it. Is the hope, because I'd like to get work again.
Yeah, I mean that sucks, and this is part of it too. But I think it's two sides. Like, because you're taking it from both ends. You're taking from the people. Well, I mean, you really do, and it's partly like we can't complain about the platform we have and it occurring in our platform and not admit that we might be some of the problem some of the times because we say stuff and then we do this where it actually gives proof and other people just say stuff and guess around, right? What was that? Was that BK? His mom let him use the internet early today.
I saw it.
Is that BK? I'll give you all this.
It's still daylight. He's
hey, look!
Wow.
Hey, your mom let you out. I don't have it. Can somebody click that so I can talk to him real quickly? You gave him a wrench. Your mom let you out early this morning, huh? You better watch out. I know you got a caps lock on the screen time, so you won't be able to harass us later on tonight. All right, get him off here. But here's what I'm saying is like a lot of the stuff, even in that group, and I think you have to openly admit it. Like you just wish sometimes you could write back, and it's never going to do anything because you're just going to get trolled at. Is like, hey, Dip, your book is not. You're not the same. You're not like us. Like your book and the problems you have with the book is either A, you're a shit ass presser, B, you need to get some fucking readers or something because you couldn't see that shit ahead of time, or 3, you just have absolutely no clue what's going on in the space, right? And usually those are some of the people that are yelling the loudest, and they take it away from some people like yourself and a couple other guys I've already mentioned where you saw legitimate complaints. And just if you've ever been customer facing, you always know sometimes the loudest voice is the stupidest voice. Like they have no complaint where you're like, okay, there are some people I want to take care of, but this person's going to cause problems for everybody because after I'm done with this asshole who's completely wrong, we're just not going to help anybody after this, right? Like we're done. This fucker's wrong and I'm going to cuss him out. And then I can't tell the guy next to him he's right because I had to go so hard on this asshole. And I think that's kind of some of the cases what's happening here. There's legitimately people that have had problems. And I know of one person.
Because a lot of people are going to be bringing their books going, hey, this is bad. And it very well could be something that's just inherent in the book and not really caused by that. But it's the 9/8s that really concern you. If people do not trust that a 9/8 is a 9/8, for 2024, there's a problem. I mean, what's the sense? I mean, they are hurting their integrity and their.
Hold on, though. I saw less than less than two spine ticks with less than a 10th inch, which qualifies for 9/8. No other flaws on the book. And it was a distribution book where somebody had gotten it. You could tell it was a distribution error. You could tell it was a run from shipping, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's in
But we also know that, those spine ticks do not get 9/8s. They do.
They do. We have.
They get a lot more 9/6s and 9/4s.
You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong with that. But I'm saying that they also get 9/8s. They have. And you're giving us an example of what I'm saying is you're giving us 1 or 2 books out of 1 or 2 books out of 20 books that have that. You're right. They might get a 9/8. That's where I'm saying like that's not what throws me overboard. If you show me a book where you're like, hey, this was pre-pressed. This is what the book looked like, right? This is what it looked like after I pressed. I submitted it like this, which I have seen these pictures, and you see an arc. I don't want to see you pulling the shit out of the well and then saying this damages, but you see the arc, and then in it, then I'm going to give you a little bit more of consideration to it. Or if you see like, hey man, this is the book from the scan. I'm scanning this in 2. You tell me that color break that I made look not as bad as it is, and now look at how it is. We had less than a 10th inch color break, just one, and now all of a sudden we got something that's over a 1/2 inch, which is not going to get you a 9/8. How did that occur? Right. Yeah, I'll agree with you 100%.
Well, that's the scenarios that we're concerned about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's a smaller, loud minority that I think is causing an issue here, where they're thinking they just got a gift grade. Shut the fuck up, take your gift grade, and go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people don't like paying $25 to have their books graded in a grade that's not going to be appropriate and cause damage to the books.
Well, on the secondary market, presentation
secondary
means
market
something.
or the customer. They paid me a few bucks to press the book. They paid for grading, and then they get a book that they may, it looks potentially the same as it did before pressing, or maybe worse.
I don't know. I very rarely, except for like when these instances come up like this one right here, I very rarely hear people like in a year from now when this is all gone and nobody remember. I guarantee you're not going to hear anybody complain again that they got a gift grade. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh man, I got gift grade." Them sons of bitches.
They don't complain, but they know they got them.
Them sons of bitches. You know what I mean? Yeah, but now they are like
it's a gift grade. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've never had a gift grade before.
I've never gotten one.
I've never gotten a 9/9 gift, so I don't know.
I got one.
I've had multiple 9/9s, but they weren't gifts. But they weren't in the last year either. They were well before this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those very unique. Huh?
I don't think they're as rare as people think they are. No, I don't. I mean, I think even if you go and look at some of the census and some of the stuff, and you go look at some of the grades grow up, 9/9s they're not as like you're not getting 100 of them. I will tell you this: modern books now, where you're going straight from publisher to the grading system, you're
There's
going
no reason
to
most
see
of those shouldn't be 9.9s and 9.8s.
Yeah, you're going to see a greater number of them coming out on the absolute bottom line brand because they're coming like they're sending them 1,000 books and they're taking 10 books out of 1,000. That's going to happen. So yeah, I mean, on that effect, sure, but like
10%.
But yeah, but like, I mean, like it's not like the 9.9 or a 10 was never heard of before. Nobody ever got them. I mean, we've all gotten them before. I mean, I hope you've all gotten them before. I've gotten them all before. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's a unicorn. I mean,
well, I respect your opinion. I wish more customers out there had the same. That it's not a big deal, and let's move on. I have concerns.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm not saying I don't have concerns. No, I think remember we're tailoring back what we get, but it's also a perception concern. Like right now,
sure,
the market probably for you, it's hurting your business. It's hurting ours
too.
Oh,
absolutely.
Like
August looked like it was going to be slow to start with. I don't know if it's the summer doldrums, but I noticed Swaggle House did his report. It looks like sales were down in August overall, but I was having a slow August before all this started. But now I am. As of tomorrow, I'm going to be completely caught up. I'll be working on whatever comes in tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. So that's the first for me since November of last year.
Yeah,
I have seen a lot of people complain about their confidence in buying books on the secondary market. They don't know if these cases somebody switched the book out or this is actually part of this whole CGC well issue. So they've been afraid to buy higher end books.
Well, that goes back to the jerks pulling them, right? I mean, they do a bad rap for CGC, CBCS, or whoever because they pulled this book out and then replaced it.
And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that's not the case in every case, but when it comes to higher end books, and Joe can attest this because he watches all the auctions. I'm not sure all the people all the time that are voicing the opinion of what higher grade books and how much money the books are the ones spending the money on the books and they're concerned about it. There is a little bit of concern. I'm not saying that's not true, but like mainly the people who I see voicing the opinion on this. I mean, I don't know what they consider high end books, but because the high end books are still selling. I mean, like the everyday, whatever. Obviously,
and this doesn't really seem to be a big effect on.
No, so like when you're talking, but I preface this too, and I said it's going to affect.
I should have said
ours.
High end books back, even though they're not
damaged.
Books. High end modern books. High end modern books that people.
Well, that ain't
modern grades. Not
there's not a lot of them.
Golden Age. Yeah, there aren't that many.
If they're modern, there's a lot of high end. So I mean, it's not.
I mean, like I said, people conflate a lot of things too.
But they're not valuable.
They conflate people, pulling out books and putting them back in slabs with everything else.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's going to hurt us.
Statements.
Yeah, it hurts us all the time. That's why I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with the part that they should have given a little bit clearer, especially with the whatever, as BK brought up, word salad with the small inner well. What the shit did that even? Smaller inner well for smaller books? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That doesn't even. I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense because that's not how you do things.
I still think they should have been clear about what happened.
How long do you think it's going to take?
Back. They should have been clear because they were telling people to return things for mechanical error.
Yep.
Yes.
And they did, and some people did. And by the way, that's the thing that doesn't get reported. Some people did, and some of it, and that's where we start to see the problem. Was some of it got okayed, and then some people's bullshit did try to take advantage of it, got rejected, and they started a shitstorm a couple months ago.
That seems to be.
But again, all they had to be clear was this was a problem back in May or whenever, and this is a different issue than what that was. That had its resolution, whatever. They could have been clear on that so that people don't think that there's a 4 or 5 month time horizon of that problem starting back then and continuing through there. I mean, because we just have to guess. Was the problem resolved then and this is something different? Or is it the same issue going across? They could have just been clear about that, and then you don't have a bunch of conspiracy theories about what's going on.
But I think so. Here's the biggest issue too. Our friend over here has already said his pressing business is taking. I mean, like if you're caught, that's never good to be caught up. You always want to backstack. We're telling you we've had at least 10 submissions come back in the last 2 weeks for curve, not damage. a curve. That's not good. That's not good because no matter what you say about eBay, we don't take returns, whatever, you're taking that fucking return and you're praying to God that they don't give you a bad review because on that situation, there, no matter what your pictures are, who's got the time? I mean, seriously, with this fucking arguing with eBay all the time. But so we're taking these hits, but at what point? Because every of them, even though none of our books ever had the things pulled, and they weren't even books that were of that style, because we had moved them already, like we still, after the new holders, were having people trying to send books back for that and all that other bullshit that happened there, right? The floating well situation, the rolling well situation, all those things. It's usually like a 2 to 3 month extended forecast where we still get screwed. How long is this going to go on? Because I would have figured that people would have moved on from the switching out the book thing. And I don't know. And now times have changed because we haven't at CGC, through CGC, we haven't had this big of a problem post all the noobs coming in, pandemic. So like we haven't had like all the other incidents that had happened before that. You had the books change after it, right? The book exchange thing where they were taking books out, putting them in.
Yes.
Right.
And now we're having this, right? Within a shorter, it's not actually that shorter period of time because of some.
They've had a lot of problems over the last couple of years, but I think it's the most significant by far.
Yeah. So like usually by the time the last thing happened, CBCS would come and save CGC and say, "Hold my drink. Let me show you how to fuck something up real quickly," right? They're not getting bailed out this time. It's back to back with CGC. So how long do you think it's going to be before we get a little bit more? Because if they're only selling 2 books or if they're selling 200 books, there is a little bit of a pullback, right? If they're pressing 5 books or they're pressing 500 books, there's a little bit of a pullback or a complete pullback for some of the smaller guys. I understand that.
Sure.
But usually it was CBCS who was saving us as resellers and pressers because they'd fuck something up so much worse that people would be like, all right, well, I forgive you, CGC, because at least you didn't do that. But that's not happening this time. So, like,
see, I don't think I know the history of CBCS's problems like I do CGC's then. I didn't realize they were that
Oh, you mean when they fucking tried to move that one time and lost, like,
the Texas
20,000 books and then start selling them through Heritage? You mean that time? Oh, wait, your book's lost. Sorry. We can only give you the fucking UPS value on it. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute. I know that fucking... Hey, that corner tear on that fucking Silver Age book that's worth $5,000? Yeah, that was my book. What's it doing on Heritage?
Do you think that's the real reason CBCS is not getting market share? Or
that's not the only fuck up. Way before.
No, but do you think, listen, I think we could all agree that they have a product that's on parity. It's the case is fine. The grading is usually as accurate, maybe, right? People say they don't like the labels, but who cares? That's a little piece of paper. That should not make that much of a difference. So what is the reason that people, it seems to me that at least, what do they get? 1%, 5% of the market? I don't know.
So here's the problem. Here's the absolute problem.
They're not desirable. Why?
Yeah, here's why. 2 things. CGC, you have to remember, when you had the original guy, Ponytail, I'm not going to say his name, was over at CGC. And even though he was helping out some dude and went through the whole micro trimming scandal, he left to go to CBCS to start that up.
Right.
Okay. When he did that, we didn't forget. Okay. So everybody's like, yeah, CGC, cool. Really. At least he's gone. Won't be as corrupt. The price started to tick up, maybe about 10% above what CBCS, because this is where it doesn't matter. Yeah. It always comes down to how much we can sell the books for. Sorry to say it. You don't have to like it.
Can do to if the market share was closer to 50-50, there'd probably be parity in the resale market.
Yeah.
But
maybe
for some reason they can't seem to get the people to provide books to them.
Because this is why. Tell me why I would send it. They are right now at like a 32% discount rate. Tell me why I would send a book. And you're thinking of modern where you're like, oh, well, it might only be $20. I'll go pull.
Sure, right. On a vintage
book, tell me why.
Hundreds of thousands. Sure.
Tell me why. I wouldn't do that. There's no way.
I'm just wondering, if they could do anything to grab market share. It doesn't seem like it. I mean,
I don't think so. I think they had a shot. I think even with that, okay, CGC had the curve well. They really had a shot to get in there. And they were actually starting to make way. Like it started to drop. The percentage started to drop where it was almost about 15 to 18%. Then they had a problem with their fucking wells. And then after that, they decided CGC started to come back up. They had the problem with the free wells, if I remember correctly. And then CBCS had the problem where you could take the tabs and you could just take the tab up, take out the fucking paper,
Yeah.
put it in the fucking grade, put it back on. They could have still survived after that, even though the market share was back up to 30% premium if you had a CGC book. They still could have survived then. But right then, all the old dealers were like, fuck this. We're sick of these young jackasses coming in here going, hey, bud, how you doing? I'll take that raw book. Don't worry about it. I'll take it for your overstreet price. And we would literally walk up to tables. I mean, this is no joke. Especially Baltimore is one of the best ones for it. We would turn around. They had all the Silver Age guys got the premium seats. Fucking Mark Nathan loved it. Everybody's there. They love being there. They're selling tons of books. Till they realized that all we were doing was grabbing their books and turning around and submitting them all. And then walking them out and selling them before we left the con. And they were like shit. So that helped. That really helped. Their on-site grading and where they were doing it really helped. And then, just as all the influencers who didn't really have much to do with comics, but decided that they were going to try to promote another comic book thing because that gives a lot of clicks, right? CGC sucks, blah, 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 check out the boards, but this will give us a lot of clicks. As soon as they start pushing that, CBCS, oh, Beckett, sure. Well, a lot of those guys are, you can ask them, card guys. Card guys love Beckett. They love PSA, whatever they love, right? Oh, so we're going to push this as hard as we can. CBCS decided to ship all that shit out to Texas, and they were giving us very competitive discounts. Like the prices that we were going to get our books through there would make up some of the difference, including on the high end stuff. It was going to make up the difference, but fuck, they sold our books and they gave us fucking insurance money for it. So you tell me why we'll never go back to those.
Okay,
I mean that's it. Yeah, there's just you're never going to do it. And now the old timers just see us. Yeah, but the old timers see us walking around with like our dicks hitting the floor and money. They're going to want to do the same thing. So they're not going to submit it there. They don't even know what CBCS is. I mean,
and it was the whole problem of them giving workers books to go home and grade them at CBCS.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was a whole
thing. That one happened too, didn't
it? Yeah.
I forgot about that one. So yeah, I mean, see, a CGC by far is never been perfect, and it has lots of problems. Don't get it twisted. It really does. But unless you can close the gap somehow on resellers, the amount that the resellers are getting, it's never going to make a difference.
Okay, appreciate your.
Here's some of CBCS's prices for
for some reason they're a little higher.
Yeah, for the same price for
it's the best looking of our ugliest children.
Was it $9 to $10 more than the greatest for CGC in 20-day priority? That's 20 days is the average for CGC, and it's $34,
right?
And $45 for a max of 4,000, which is
if I was CBCS, I would be dropping prices quickly, trying to maximize them.
Yes.
Wasn't that the
lunch is going to get eaten?
Wasn't that the selling point on their merger?
Yes.
That was the selling point on their merger. We're going to get the books back to you faster. It's going to be cheaper and faster. Well, when it's cheaper and faster, you never got your books back, and you lost money on the front end. You lost the money on the back end. And now they're more expensive. They take longer.
Yeah. Well, I think we need some more competition because I think this industry is a little bit too dependent on CGC. And if we start having questions about the validity of grades, I don't think it really is going to help the market or the hobby at all.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have PSA in the business. You have CBCS. There are competitors.
EGS.
It is competition. The
EGS is not a competitor.
In the words of Macho Man, the cream will rise to the top.
It's there.
So is PGX. I mean, PGX is there, but that doesn't mean
Halo.
Exactly. I mean, there's competition. There's the reason CGC is where they're at. They had, like I said, they're the prettiest ugly child we have.
They actually are. And like honestly, one of the things, and I don't believe. I can't say it. How can I say this nicely without getting in trouble later? I think maybe the issue wasn't if the CGC had enough employees to start ramping up on-site grading again, compared to maybe they have foreseen some of these issues, and they know that on-site grading is how they just clean up the market, because that's how they do it. You can't have, and this is the other part that they didn't do that CBCS did that really sucked. They're on-site submitting by anybody that applied for it, which was like they would send people their booths, and you could be a certified CBCS seller or whatever it was. It'd just be some random dude in a booth on a thing trying to get, and it was where CGC would actually have their employees out there doing it, which also gave them a little bit of validity, I think. I mean, it's a really, like, dude, cons are weird worlds, man. Like, it's weird, but that's how it goes. So,
Okay.
You know, whether you want your comics graded CGC, DBCS, EGX, it's your choice.
not EGX.
Any comic, you don't have. CGC doesn't have to be your only go-to to get.
You can do the shit yourself.
Yeah, sticks. Soft foam grading, right?
That's right.
Soft slabs.
Buy right off Temu.
Yep, Timo slabs. Let's go.
You won't tolerate the TGX or the PGX slander. That's awesome. I like the sushi comment. All right, guys, I got another show coming up in a little bit, and the lines are about to be on. So it's great talking to everybody, but I'm going to see my way out. All great meeting you. Everybody good. Yeah, fun. See you guys later.
Excellent. See you later,
Thanks, Michael.
All right.
See ya.
All right.
So it's a complicated issue when it comes to the pick CGC over CBCS. I agree with you. The cases are better at CBCS. I do like the cases better.
It's what are you buying your books for? What are you grading your books for? If I have plenty of Golden Age stuff that's CBCS, and I'm fine with that. It's from my personal collection. I'm perfectly happy with that. It's not going to leave my hands.
What are you talking about?
But I understand. But I understand on the resale market, if I ever decided to sell those books, there's a chance that there would be a slight premium for CGC. It's not as bad as Golden Age, but still.
That beer can have a mind of its own, I suppose.
Yeah,
it comes down to your perception of what the company is and what you want and what you think you're getting out of that company. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, personally, go ahead.
You can have 5 people in a room and you're going to get a different answer probably, unless they're all, homers for CGC. But
yeah. I personally, my slabs are usually just for my personal collection. As you can see, 25 boxes of CGC cases back there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if CBCS decided to lower their prices, get their books back faster than 30 days for the same price or less in CGC, I would consider it. But at this point, no. And as I don't know if I told you guys, I've had 1, 2, 3 submissions. 2 of them quality control and 1 grading encapsulation for. It's been 15 days. It's been sitting at that part of the grading process. So I gave CGC a call and asked them why. Usually when it goes to quality control, it's like 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But they said they're doing a 2nd and 3rd quality control when it comes to books to make sure there's no issues with the case.
Nice.
So everyone at the company is actually taking a look at these cases before they go out to customers.
Okay.
That's what I was told by a rep on the phone.
The janitor's looking at it. The receptionist is looking at it.
Accountant, lawyer.
Well, that's good, and it reinforces that. I had a customer that got 11 out of 11 straight as an arrow. He said,
Yeah.
So they can do it. They can.
Yeah.
I think maybe I will say this: quality control have missed a lot of things when it comes to sending out slabs. Whether it's mislabeling or a shifted book in the case, or it's not sealed properly, it happens. And it shouldn't happen at this level with a company this size with this many employees.
Right. I will agree on one of Marco's points that they do need to put graders notes back in for the book. I think they're, even if it's, says nothing wrong, it says nothing wrong,
Yeah, because
it's something to, as an added benefit for their slab.
What's the point of having these QR codes in the back of the slabs
Yeah.
You scan them, it says no greatest notes.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
9.2, 9.49, even a 9.6.
I refuse to believe that it takes X number of dollars for them to do that. Somebody's sitting there grading the books. Somebody just has to punch in the information. It's silly that they just don't have that done.
They
would solve so many problems. Now that granted, I understand they probably don't want to.
No.
Because if something comes back and later you see something in there and it's not on the grader's note, that causes another.
Well, the for pandemic, the speed of them, so they cut that out because they thought maybe that was slowing it down, and then they never bring it back. So
yeah, here's good friend Chungi. I was able to crack a slab graded in 07 with my bare hands the other day, so they needed to make them more secure. I agree. They were easy. You just now I have to have a chiseled down screwdriver.
Here we go.
A mallet, and I got a lot harder to open the CGC slabs now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, would you all consider paying an extra, $1 to $5 if you knew it was all books would include grader's notes? If it was an option,
it's supposed to be free now.
Yeah,
all books are supposed to include grader's notes.
Supposed
regardless.
to. Someone's got a case of the supposed to.
Supposed to. They made a big announcement. It was a press release. Every QR code will be linked to grader's notes, no matter what the grade. It went on for maybe 2 to 3 months, and then just stopped recently. And
that was long enough. We can stop that. Yeah.
All right. That sucks.
So let me see if I can bring this up. Ryan just sent me some pictures, which I can.
Oh, I didn't know if you cared during the show, but yeah, you're talking about quality control. So I was like, let me send these to you.
Yeah.
This was a painful one that I'm still waiting on a result for. If you're able to bring it up.
I have to email that to myself, but
sorry.
No,
well, let's go on.
I still have the other pictures that you sent earlier.
I should have emailed.
That's fine. Well, we can email them now. I'll bring up the other one that you sent. But CBCS has been constantly giving graders notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No matter what the price point or what they were charging, I've always given graders notes. And this is one of the books. Beautiful. I mean, Spider-Man 607.
Yep.
When was it submitted?
It was submitted about a month ago and received less than 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So that was actually came back after my previous visit on your show.
You don't get notes on 9.96s anymore. I got books that are 9.2s, Chungi, and no notes. Does anyone think the lines at Baltimore will be less or less for CGC? No, I don't think they will. But I will.
Bringing back on-site grading is a big thing in Baltimore. It's a comic book convention more than a lot of the other ones where you're just going to see Judge Reinhold.
Leave Judge Reinhold alone. All right, he's an absolute treasure.
I knew you were going to say that.
And then let me see what else. What's that one? This one right here.
Down by the ear. Yeah, unfortunately. And that one, I believe, was completely tickless.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And again, if they're banding books together, got a stack.
But where is that located? That's actually lower than center.
Yeah, it is.
I have it here. It's lower than center, and it's a full bend with the middle touching the back well.
Hold on, I'll put you up on the big screen so you can show.
Nah, you don't have to. That's going to be a better view than you're going to get over the camera, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm gonna. The only thing that's curbing the amount of books I'm submitting at Baltimore is they announced that the books are going to be $40 a piece.
I saw that. Is that not normal? Yeah, is that not
I've never submitted at a con, so I thought that was a little high. for myself.
Yeah, I think you're paying for being able to pick it up
Immediately. Yeah. The next
immediately.
day.
Or they said Sunday.
Same day or Sunday, depending on the type of book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just.
Yeah, I don't know what it normally costs to have them graded on site though.
No, me either. Anyone in
No,
the
I don't
chat
know either.
knows? Because I don't know if they're going to give the premium discounts to people that have premium accounts. So I will only pay what, $32 a book. So I think that.
But still, you're not dealing with shipping. You're not dealing with any of the other BS.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
And you're paying. You're literally paying for the convenience of being able to hand it to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like buying water at a concert. And you're paying $4 to $5 for a bottle of water.
It's fine service. I'd rather be digging through boxes than standing in a line.
Let me get this up.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up this box. Here we go.
Bruce is digging. Looks like he's thinking hard.
There we go.
Oh, you can see the steam too.
Yeah. Yeah. This was
Oh,
this
wow.
was one of the ones that I had to send back. I mean, it looks like it just got pinched by the encapsulation process.
Yeah, in the right corner, right top corner.
Yep. So that's a tough one, but hopefully it didn't crease. They said they'll press it if they deem appropriate. I assume they'll deem it appropriate. But yeah, it was an 8-0.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's
And
bad.
it wasn't over.
How does that leave the facility? I'm just confused how that leaves in that way.
I don't know. I think it was probably made worse in shipping because the certification photos don't look that bad, but it does look like the top right corner is actually like stuck between the two wells of plastic. Like there's probably a little bit of overhang on the cover or something like that, and maybe it was just captured and then the shifting of the book buckled it. I don't know. It's a shame. So hopefully it comes back with an 8-0 and a nice smooth corner. We'll see. Probably whenever.
Yeah, they need to work on their quality control because
yeah,
if they were doing their proper quality control, the people that books were seeing these bends and spine damage, they would never saw them. They would have been caught in quality control.
Especially for bigger books.
Yeah.
What you're paying for a bigger book in terms of that
Especially this book.
That's, you're paying a good amount of money for a service. It's not like I paid $45 to get this slab.
Yeah.
That's
what, a $16,000 book?
And an 8-0?
I don't know.
Let me see.
It was $200 and something book to grade.
But nonetheless, you're not paying $45 to get it slabbed and graded.
No,
you're paying a premium because the book is a premium
it was
book.
200 and change. I don't remember exactly what the charge was for the grading.
Yeah,
that's.
I said it before. I had a buddy who submitted a book. He didn't realize it was going to be the grade it got, and they charged him more because it was a higher grade and it was worth more.
Yeah.
So,
it's not
it goes all the way,
Yeah. Yep.
It's at this point, these mistakes should not be being made. They've been in business long enough. They've been doing this for over a decade.
Mistakes will be made. It's a high volume business. It's not like they're getting 10 books to grade and encapsulate a week. They're doing hundreds, if not thousands of books a day. Who knows how many are flying through there in terms of what they're getting in terms of volume. I'm sure they don't have a ridiculously large staff. So, I mean, I expect companies screw up. It happens all the time. It only takes one person to do something wrong accidentally, and it gets passed through the system, and it happens.
Yeah.
Well,
to me, it's just how they respond to those things is what bothers me. It's their PR.
I was going to say, I kind of came in here really upset with the whole CGC statement, but Marco kind of calmed me down. I kind of feel like
Marco
the bigger out of me.
Wow.
That's usually the opposite effect what he does to people.
Yeah, he's like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, all right, I guess it's not a big deal. I don't know.
Like I said, I think they could have quieted the crowd a little more with a better statement.
Yeah. And I think hopefully they will actually do some mechanical errors and get these ugly 9/8, 9.8s, 9.6s at least corrected, in my opinion. I think it would be better for their reputation if people can trust the grades. You know, and not that they ever can, because a lot of my customers have 9.8s, but they have bent books and they don't want to send them back. They don't want to take a chance that the grade's going to be reduced and have to fight them for value depreciation.
Just under 3,000.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that much.
Who paid 4,500 for an 8.0 of Giant Size X-Men? That seems a little strange, but okay. But you know, it's a $2,800 book, almost 3,000.
And that was eBay, not even Heritage.
Yeah. So you know, you want these books to present well when you sell them, when you present them, hang them on your wall. You know, you don't want to look at ugly spine ticks or bends or anything else like that, especially when...
Again, for the secondary market, if I'm looking at 2 slabs, I'm looking to buy, you know, a book that's, you know, a few $100s. And I look at, you know, it's a Silver Age. I'm looking at a 7.0 here and a 7.0 there. I'm going to look at both of those 7.0s. And there's a chance one might present a little better than the other. And that's what I'm going to go with. So on the resale market, I see this being a bigger problem than anything else.
Your defects could be either on the front or it could be on the back, which would make it better for the front. So.
Yeah, I was gonna when I bought my first appearance of Scarecrow in Silver Age, and I was like, "Ooh, a 6.5 for the price of a 6.0." I look closer. There's a big hole in the Batman's cape on the cover. I'm like, "What is that?"
Somebody was smoking while reading that.
I showed the 6.0 over that. Nobody's gonna want a hole in the cover of a 6.5.
I gotta read my Batman. Oh,
be surprised.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah. So, anything else before we let Ron go? Any more questions?
No.
No, I'm free.
Hopefully they'll.
I thank you guys for having me. I really do. Thank you very much.
If you guys want to check out Ron's page and check out his pressing services, the link for his page is in the description of this video. And thank you.
I'm sure after Baltimore we'll talk about the on-site grading as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, something we'll keep an eye on.
Come to Baltimore with us. Come to Baltimore with us.
Appreciate it.
But it'll be interesting to see what people have to say there and how much volume they're getting and what they're seeing coming back.
We'll have Marco bring his clipboard and he'll do the man on the street.
I know Marco's. I mean, a lot of people that are going with us are submitting books there, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that.
Yeah, I might do one.
I had a stack of 20 books to submit there, but I think it's gonna the price of $40 is going down to 10 books.
I'm gonna do my one Doctor Who book that I wanted to get done, so do that one. Just gotta figure out which one. I'm looking at another one now, Bruce. Might buy another one.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Ron, it was good to see you.
Thanks for coming on, Ron.
Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye, man.
Good luck, kids.
All right. So, you have any pickups before we start, guys? Or
I got mine from Friday, but I'll show it again because they're beautiful.
Sure. Just bring you up, and I'll get the slides ready for the main show.
Let's see. I got my Sezamaica Zatanas, 23 out of 800 and 15 out of 800.
Nice.
Yeah, they're very nice. That Sezamaica's good stuff. A little Udon, a little Final Fight.
Nice uniforms.
A little more Udon, little Ikpot. Big fan of Ikpot.
Yeah, a couple extra C's on that thick.
Little bit of Sabrina.
I like that one.
Cover. Yeah, it's a nice cover.
I'd like to see a newer Josie and the Pussycats from Archie.
Yeah, and I got a couple of these Told to Tell, Lust, Sex, Desire 8. Yeah, it's Kevin Much cover. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's oversized, but it was worth every penny. It was beautiful books. That's what I got.
Nice. You got anything, Sticks?
No, I haven't got anything new.
Yeah, I'll just show off what I got this week, I guess. Well, there he is.
Yes, BK. They're just going to throw his Doctor Who back at him and say, we don't slab these.
All right, I got my Trinity.
There you go.
Trinity.
Let's see if
I like the bubblegum cover.
Trinity.
I don't like that cover.
it's kind of
Spider Boys. I just got
Spider
them
Boy.
today.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
around.
apparently.
Good lord.
More Spider Boy. Don't ask. Spider Boy.
What are they gonna? That
I do
Godzilla?
like that Godzilla cover though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That of all the Godzilla covers they've done across the line, that was probably one of the better ones.
My Strange New Worlds. Raza cover. I love this cover so much. There's a Zatanna Sozamika.
There you go.
And Trinity 1 in 25.
Sorry.
Sorry. And of course, I had a copy of this. It took forever to come in.
I'm still waiting for my. I hate being behind on my books coming in.
Hey Dade. What's going
Hey,
on?
what's up? Not much. Just
Sorry.
watching the first part of the show a minute ago.
Oh, dang. Bruce has some insider spec on Spider Boy. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. These were cover price. I just bought an extra copy, what I usually buy. Spider Girl, first appearance.
I don't know. The Spider Boy costume looks cool. Kind of weird, but I don't know anything about the characters. Guess it's something I'll have to look into.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
he was-
does.
It was
Or not.
artificially-
It's okay either
artificially
way.
made. He was made by someone, and
Yeah,
then
I
he
don't-
disappeared. Blah 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 blah.
I don't.
But-
I get tired
All right.
of all the spider people.
All right, let's get into the first segment. You know, I was inspired by my Jeopardy on SNS last week, so I thought I'll do Batman Rogue's first appearance, the C Squad. Not the A-listers, the C Squad.
Oh Jesus Christ! We get C
Yes.
Squad people.
He has a
There you go.
massive rogues gallery of
Yeah.
rejects.
I thought this would be fun to
Couple.
go through. So the first up, who we have? We have Dweller Dent. Her first appearance in Batman Family number 6 in 1976. The fair market value of this comic is $23. She called herself the Joker's daughter. She was not actually the Joker's daughter when she first appeared. She was given the Joker's blood, an injection or something, or
Yep.
a transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Older
right.
years, she's become
So,
she's
no
appeared here in
relation-
the Titans. No relations to the Joker.
No relation to Harvey Dent, right?
No relation to Harvey Dent.
Which is weird.
Yeah, like probably a
I
cousin.
don't know. Distant cousin,
Once removed.
once removed.
Maybe she has some Harvey Dent blood in her. Who knows?
But they haven't used her since that 2000 run of Titans, I believe. I don't know if she appeared after maybe she was Birds of Prey after New 52, maybe.
I don't know.
I think they got my old Birds of Prey around.
But you know, she was an interesting character. What's this? God. Marco sending me messages. I'll read that later. Then we have KG Beast. First appeared in Batman 417 in 1987. Fair market value for this book is $17.
I like this character.
Yeah, I thought he was a good character. He died. He was killed, right?
Yeah, he was killed, but for his little arc that they had here, the 10 Nights of the Beast, it was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Killed?
I don't know.
really good.
Killed.
I don't.
Killed. Batman left him to die.
Oh, that
I don't know.
makes
If,
sense.
I don't know if the kids will get the reference to his name anymore, but sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
We don't have the KG Beast anymore.
No.
Yeah,
we'd
it's
have to have,
Batman
we'd
left
have,
him
we'd have to have
longer
the
to
FS
starve to death.
Beast.
Yeah. Yeah, the Putin proletariat.
It's the FSB now.
Hey, Archild, what's going on?
This was a good read.
Oh, I almost forgot. Please, if you're watching, please subscribe, like, and comment in the chat. We appreciate all the feedback. We just don't only need BK doing word salads and all this kind of Marco glazing in the chat. So every thumbs. So I don't know. I don't think they should have killed KGBs. I thought he was a cool character.
Nobody's ever dead in the comics.
True. Anthony, hey Beltray, what's going on, buddy? And then next up we have Clue Master, Detective Comics 351 from 1966, fair market value $12. He is actually Stephanie Brown's father.
This is Timu Riddler.
Spoiler. Yes.
Yes,
He just left clues. No riddles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. He'd probably be in the trash, not the sea. Not the sea.
Be fun for scavenger hunts.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Another fun character. Then we have Catman. First appeared in Detective Comics 311.
He actually, this one, is this the same? Go ahead.
Is it this is
1962, fair market value $140 and middle to lower grade 142 140 fair market value. What was that? 6?
Is this the same Catman that they had in the cartoons, where he was all in black? Or no, that's a different Catman.
the JSA Catman?
Yeah, that's JSA Catman.
Oh, okay.
This looks like the Golden Age Catman from the Catman Golden Age title, which would be interesting to look into the etymology of this. See where.
I mean, if you look at the Detective Comics.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Detective Comics 31, not 311. Sorry about that. From 1962.
Yeah, I was about to say that's 31, not 311.
Yes. Hey, I don't have a producer anymore, right? My producer is taking a break.
You kids and your help. You kids and your help on your shows.
Wildcat. It's Wildcat.
Oh, Wildcat. Okay. All right. I mean, on the cover, you could easily mistake him for Captain Carrot, though.
Captain Carrot.
Got the same. I can pull it up.
Color scheme. I know.
Got the same. Yeah, there you go. This is a good look at him right there. Okay, it's the same damn costume. See?
Yeah, could be. And then the final D Squad member, the Calculator. First appeared in Detective Comics 463, 1976. Fair market value is $11. Fun time. Anybody remember the Calculator?
No. I remember Black Spider, but I don't remember this guy.
I remember the Condiment Man.
Condiment Man, yeah.
Calendar
Calendar Man.
Kite Man.
Hey,
he always got his own series.
Yeah,
you better put some honor on Kite Man's name. That's all I'm saying.
Then let's move on from the C Squad. Maybe I'll do this every week and do a different tier of villains for Batman and all the major tentpole characters between Marvel and DC.
Because, like you said, he's got a huge gallery.
Interesting story I heard earlier today. Somebody found a Detective Comics number 27 at a yard sale.
What?
Why
can't I be that guy? Why can't that be me?
They checked it out. The only defect it had was the back cover was not the original back cover. Somebody had clipped on another cover to it or whatever.
I've seen that where they take
it came
the
out
covers. The covers from facsimiles. They put them on.
They mix them up or something.
Yeah, it came out of 0.5 on CGC.
Sure.
And it's going to Heritage Auction here soon. But
I'll take a 0.5 of that copy any day of the week. All right, moving on to comic reviews. First up, Absolute Power number 3. I love that Carla Cohen cover. God, that cover.
Yeah, I didn't get to my reading this week. There's too much yard work to do. Too much football. I was stuck.
Interesting story.
The art in this has been top notch this whole series.
Yeah, it has been good.
It was a lot going on in this issue.
There's a lot going on in every one of these issues.
Yeah. It's finally coming to an end. When Amanda Waller is attacking China, you know it's about to be over. She's gonna fall hard. She's going down.
That woman has bit off more than she can chew.
Yeah, it's about time. I don't want to see her for another 10 years after Absolute Power. Put her away. Put it in the back shelf somewhere.
Aren't we getting a Waller series, live action series?
I will say this.
Yes.
Well,
The Batman comic that you're having us review this week came actually right before this issue.
Yes. Catman
that Batman comic leads into this.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And you had Catman and Kitten, which was
it was fun to see Bizarro, like Bizarro being Bizarro. I love Bizarro. So is Joe. And
yes.
And then him using the Black Mercy on Bizarro instead of him having fun, positive dreams. He was having nightmares. They're like, oops, he's Bizarro. And then we got the introduction of the new characters. What was their freaking names? Cody Jose and I forgot the other guy.
Yeah, because it's just what I need in a series with too much going on. Please introduce new characters.
Well, it's been a good read so far. I like this better than Dark Crisis and Final Crisis. This is more well written and it's fun.
It's a lot going on though. It's a lot, but yeah, it's been decent. But they could have edited down some of it.
I'm just happy that this will all lead back to a new Justice League team being formed. I miss my Justice League. Titans are good, but they're not the Justice League.
I tend to find Titans better.
If there's a Booster Gold in that book, I'll be picking that up too. So.
I think he is in a new team.
Yeah, he is. So.
Yeah, we got John back to being normal. He's no longer Cyber Superman or whatever they will call him. The last
Cyber boy.
Cyborg Superman.
Cyborg.
The last
son. So. And then we reviewed Batman 152 with these great covers. I love that 85th anniversary homage to the Dark Knight Returns.
Looks like Adam West.
I'd rather have the Darkwing Duck cover.
Yeah.
This is pretty. This is showing how Batman and Catwoman got Mother Box, which you could tell this is going to tie into not Absolute Power, All In. As you can see in the last panel to the right.
Fucking Darkseid, man.
Darkseid shows. I'm like, why is Darkseid here then? I'm like, okay, they rigged.
Well, I just like how Batman's like, holy crap, it's him, and Catwoman's like, who? Who?
Yeah, she was like, that's some Batman. It would have been cool if she was like, oh, that's some Batman shit you're dealing with. I'm out.
I don't know. That's some bat shit, man.
Well, this just was a quick story to show how they got the Mother Box, which they used in Absolute Power 3.
Yeah.
And to introduce see how Darkseid's was put into the story for the next storyline that they're doing, which is All In.
I like when they Deadshot, he shatters Deadshot's mask and he's like, yeah, those bugs are gonna eat you now. And he was like, huh?
There was some flying scorpion bat or something. They were, you know how Batman calls bats to him sometimes using frequencies or whatever. He kind of did it here with. He's on another planet. I forget what planet it was.
They're on Caesarea, the Lobos planet.
Lobo homeworld. Yes.
Oh.
Which had been taken out apparently at another time by these bugs.
Yes.
Bugs.
Bugs.
And then the next book we read was Star Trek 500.
Couple of good stories.
Now, I didn't get a chance to read the other books. I purposely didn't read this book.
I know you did, you asshole. This is why I picked it so you could read it.
Why is
It
there a
showed-
clergy?
We
Couple
had
of good stories in this one, but my favorite story is the Tribble story.
the Tribble was great. It was from the perception of the Tribble going. It was
Yeah.
great.
Trouble with tribbles?
Yes, Trouble with Tribbles. And
yeah,
then we had
the Tribble is
great.
like in love with Captain Kirk.
yeah.
The Tribble's like, I must get back to my love.
Well, it won't be the first time Kirk shagged an alien.
Well, yeah, true.
I can see him. I can see him shagging a tree.
Oh, don't leave that alone.
What?
Kirk is a coxman. He
That's
doesn't
the
need a
origin-
tribble.
That's the original furry right there. Tribbles.
Don't need him rubbing anything on the poor tribble.
He's Kirk. He'll do
Stop
anything.
rubbing that poor Tribble. Leave it alone.
They should
Sit
start
down.
feeding him to Spock. He looks like he could use a meal.
And then we got the Deep Space
He's on
Nine.
the Atkins diet.
Deep Space Nine baseball game. That was like a little cute story. Then we had Lower Decks, which was fun. The Discovery one and the Q one, meh.
No Enterprise.
I have to be honest. I skipped the Discovery part of the book.
Yeah, I was like, what are they doing here?
Hmm.
It was fun. Artrell, no, you're gonna look at triples. Look at triples differently now.
Don't set that Tribble on your.
Indeed.
Spock, put
It's
that
not a
triple
Dune
down,
popcorn
Spock.
Yeah.
Now we get into everybody's favorite part, flaming hot covers of the week. Let's see if you guys agree with my picks.
Where I
And
get
number
tell Bruce
10.
why he's wrong on every pick.
Yes, you do. At number 10, we have Uncanny X-Men. Number 2, the 1 in 24 Mercado incentive. Little
It is a good giant
Homage.
size homage.
yeah.
I'm
It
waiting for this story.
Yeah, I don't need more mutants. I'm tired of more mutants. Stop giving me more mutants.
Okay,
You
well,
have enough.
there you go.
You have enough mutants.
That's great,
Come on.
Joe. You
We only
may not
have
need
one
more
mutant with a
mutants.
horse. One, and that's Valkyrie. We need another horse.
No, that again, Joe. That's you. You may not need more mutants, but I.
Nobody
want,
needs more mutants. No, you don't. You have.
I
plenty.
want more mutants. I
have
want more
plenty.
mutants. Hell, I just started playing City of Heroes again, an MMO called City of Heroes again, because the fans brought the servers back, which is fucking hilarious.
At
And my
number
favorite-
9, we have Uncanny X-Men number 1, second print, the 1 in 25 Marquez incentive. Let's take an interior page and put it on the cover.
I love Marquez, but this
I like-
cover bores the shit out of me.
That's why I said number 9.
This is literally like any book that I would just pass over. Okay.
Okay,
So-
Joe. Okay, Joe. I get it. You don't like joy in your life. Okay.
I don't not when books are $4.99 a pop or $3.99 a pop. I don't.
Who's the mutant up there that looks like Gene Shalit?
Gene Shalit.
Yeah.
Alan.
I don't have they named them yet? I haven't read read
They
the book.
haven't named these.
They haven't
won't be
this hasn't
named.
come out yet.
They won't be named till the second book.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like Gene Shalit.
Number 9. Oh no. Don't worry, it gets better. It gets better. There wasn't much to work with this week when it came to covers.
Give me more X books. Now let's go. Let's go. Next.
Oh my god, are there more X books on this thing? I hope not.
Probably.
There might be.
I
Yes,
don't
there are.
know.
You put it together.
I did, I think.
You should know. All
At
right,
number
what's number
8, we have Blood Hunters number 2, the 1 in 25 Yoon incentive with Dagger.
So we're still getting Blood Hunter. I guess they're still going on with this.
Yeah, they still
They're just
Yeah.
gonna run the Blood Hunters title
Yes.
through Blood Hunt and just keep it going.
Well, Miles is still a vampire.
Yeah, I guess that's something.
That's why you get a pull list and get 20% off comics.
Oh, trust me,
Exactly.
I
That's
do.
over, Zaggy.
I do, but when there's like 7 covers for
An
issue.
As we pay.
Yeah.
As we pay.
Sweet Bay.
As we pay. Did you
I
just
gotta
call
wait.
that character asswipe? Yes, I did. But with an accent, so it means more. Anyway,
Terry, you missed Marco. He was here doing word salads. You know, a little dressing on the side. It worked.
I'll
At
just
number
hold my tongue
7,
at that. Anyway,
we have Wolverine number 1,
Yeah.
the 1 in 50 hidden gem incentive. This was one of the better of those Wolverine covers. Some of those covers were horrible.
that's a homage, isn't it?
It might be.
That's an homage cover.
Yeah.
Is it?
Kind
I mean,
of.
well, that's kind of the Wolverine stance anyway. So
Yeah.
whether it's an homage or not.
Well, but it's similar to a book from the 90s. I just can't remember.
It might be the one you're thinking about when he's like this and he's in the brown suit with the.
Oh, you're thinking of the one where he's looking up from the sewer, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him. He was talking too much, so I left.
Wow.
As
Damn.
we pay.
Damn.
As
Damn.
we pay. Anyway, let's move on.
At
Moving
number
swiftly on.
6, we have Batman 88, number 4, the Fuamara variant.
Ooh, it's a
I
Keaton
know you love
cover.
Fuamora, but that's
It's
Fluffy
actually,
bunny.
that's
It's never actually sold out. I was surprised.
Like he's got marshmallows in his cheeks. Fluffy bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Keaton.
Fluffy bunny. Looks like what?
It looks like Keaton, so with his
does he?
Keaton had the puffy cheeks like that back in '89, man.
I don't think he did.
I know my Michael Keaton. He's a fellow Pittsburgh boy.
who, Michael Douglas, his real name.
Yeah.
He's going by his real name now,
No.
Michael Douglas.
His last name is actually
Yeah, he
Douglas.
changed. He changed his name legally. He's going by Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas Keaton or something like that.
Michael Keaton Douglas is how he's
Michael
going.
Keaton Douglas.
Hmm.
At number 5, Transformers number 12, the 1 in 50
I'll take an
walk-in
RC cover.
incentive.
Yawn.
RC, let's go.
Yawn, Energon, yawn.
Boo.
Although, again, I think somebody needs to get Optimus a sandwich as well there.
That's what I'm saying. Get my boy a sandwich. An Energon.
Nobody's buying
sandwich.
this for Optimus. We're buying it for RC. All right.
That's not even a good RC cover, man.
I like it.
RC.
Yeah, I think robosexuality is a whole nother topic.
Terry,
Robosexuality.
I don't watch the Star Wars show anymore. Too much drama with ranting and raving between him and Dom.
The cover B, you need the cover B on this week is so much better than this cover, and it's open order.
What's the cover B look like?
It's that it's what's it?
Oh, what was that
Optimus
website you guys gave me again to look at? I'll just go look at it.
comics
Turn off
release.
my fan.
Comics what?
Go turn it back on.
Yeah, someone's getting yelled at. Someone's
What
getting
was
I'll be
it?
back.
Comics what, geek?
Wait,
League
which
of
one? The
Comic
cover
Geeks.
cover B?
Yeah, the cover B is awesome.
Wait, this?
Yeah, that's a far better cover.
Somebody answer my question.
League of Comic
League.
Geeks is what you want to look at.
Comics
Comic
League,
Geek.
Comic
Comic
Geek.
League of
Comic
Comic
League.
Geeks.
League of
League of
Comics
Comics.
Geeks. That's what I was
Yes.
looking for.
This is a better cover, you think?
Yes, I think that's a far cooler cover than the thinly drawn RC.
Finley John RC.
You're right that the Wolverine covers
Ad
are
number
kinda ass.
4. Space Ghost number 5, the 1 in 50 Virgin Martina incentive.
Yeah, I love all the space. They've been
There's some
doing a
great
bang up
covers.
job on the covers on the series. The series hasn't been bad either.
No,
That's some sort of bug.
yes. Big bug.
Big bug.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, but Dynamite. I'm just so happy that they're going to do Thundar and the Barbarians.
Oh,
Um,
I gotta open my
as a-
copy.
as a comic. That makes me very happy. It's never been a comic before.
What? Thunder?
Thunder the Barbarian has never been a comic. It's finally going to be a comic. So quite jazzed about that.
Yay. Ookla. I know I wanted to mention something. I just want to say rest in peace to Dick Van Dyke. He died at age 98.
Wow.
He had a good run.
Yeah. He was just on Days of Our Lives. He was playing
And he was very lucid on that as well. He was
he was playing John Black's father, long lost father.
I must say I've always been a little more of a Jerry Van Dyke fan than a Dick Van Dyke, but it's just me.
The fact that Van Dyke was still alive, it blows my mind anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing that he was able to memorize his lines and deliver them so well on Days of Our Lives. It was insane at his age. A lot of actors should take notes from him. At number 3,
Better have my Suspiria cover on here.
Venom War Wolverine #1, the Casera variant. This is an amazing cover.
I actually like this cover.
I hate Venom shit, but this is a really
Of
cool
course you
This-
do,
and
because
it's
you hate
open
joy.
There's no
He just
joy
hates-
in
There's
what
no
they
joy
do.
in Venom. I
There
agree with
is
him.
there
Spider-Verses
is lots
and
of
Venom
look,
verses.
look. There is lots of joy in symbiotes. Okay, they all love you. Anyway, let's go.
I know a few symbiotes that mooch off of me. No.
But this is one of the coolest covers I've seen in a while.
Yes.
Symbiote cover.
As long as they don't make Wolverine a symbiote, that'll be let's keep them on. Let's keep it on the cover. But this will sell so well, they'll do it like they did Wolverine. The fact that he could do all that he did on Mary Poppins at an older age was amazing. I agree.
Yep.
Mary Poppins is one of my favorite movies. At number 2, Department of Truth 25, the 1 in 25 Forbes incentive.
Department of
This
Truth's
is
been killing it with covers
Beautiful,
lately.
beautiful.
Not
cover.
that they don't always have some really cool covers, but
Yeah.
I like Forbes. Forbes people seem to be very torn on Forbes. Like people did not like a lot of the Gotham City Sirens
Okay,
Forbes covers. I loved them. I thought they were great.
I have to ask this now, dude. You picked the cover that you picked for. You picked the incentive cover that you picked for Uncanny #2, and you didn't pick that retailer exclusive.
I don't advocate for people to go buy exclusive retail exclusives.
I buy them if I like the art, but that's for my
Yeah.
personal collection. I understand there's a good chance most of them will hold no value.
Yeah, I don't want to seem like I'm promoting a certain store over another store, and
Right.
people go out and pay $25-$30 for these exclusives and goes to crap next, unless they buy it for their personal collection like Joe.
That's just a badass Jubilee cover.
I chase artists, and a lot of those exclusives end up having artists that I really like. So that's what I do.
Who is the artist on this one? Now that
And I'll tell you to the left on the cover. Hey, Mama Bear. I just want
up,
Mary
Mama Bear?
Poppins' bag.
It's bigger on the inside.
It is bigger than the side. That's what he said
She
to
said.
her.
Where's
Oh,
it?
what? Oh, sorry. God damn you. And the number 1,
Oh, it's
the
Nathan.
best cover of the week. The
You better
best
be
cover
Suspiria. That better
the
be Suspiria.
best- the
better be
best
profane.
cover of the year for me.
There might be anarchy
This
in there.
cover inspired me.
Oh, here we go.
It made me want
Oh,
to do the
no.
show tonight.
It's probably Spider Boy.
And the number 1 book is
There it is. Thank
Profane
you.
#4, the 1 in
Thank you.
20 Bill Chaz incentive.
Suspiria.
Bill Chaz.
Suspiria.
Yeah,
First name,
Suspiria.
isn't it?
Suspiria
Bill
Vilches.
Chaz.
But she
Yeah.
goes by Suspiria.
All right.
Yes.
This book
Thank
was
you.
sold out within
Thank you for doing
minutes.
something right on this list.
Minutes at Midtown. Minutes. I didn't even have a chance to put in my cart, and it was sold out. I was so
Yeah.
mad.
I have not been
Yeah,
able to
right,
find
yeah.
it anywhere where
No,
it
it's
hasn't
nowhere.
been way overpriced.
I'll ask my guy. He gets a lot of that profane stuff because he's got his own cover for it. So
It kills me because I collect a lot of her
work.
work. Her work is fantastic. I collect a lot of her stuff. And I was just late. I was just late on this one.
I just care if they look good on my wall, being worth money. It's just a bonus. I agree.
Yeah,
I don't buy books to hoping that they're gonna be worth anything. Usually,
Man, some of those Wolverine covers are nice too.
I learned my lesson with Star Wars spec the last 2 years. It all amounts to nothing.
Spec all amounts to nothing, really.
Oh, specs. I'm gonna depend.
Sometimes yes.
What
Sometimes no.
one thing you learn about collecting? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves, guys.
Oh,
It's only
hold
worth
on.
what you
Talk
can
for a
get
bit.
for
I
it.
gotta.
There's
It's
there's
only
good
worth
spec
what
and
you can
bad
get
spec.
for it.
Oh yeah, everything's only worth what you get for it. But there's good spec and bad spec. Yeah, specking on C-level villains is normally bad spec. You know, specking on certain first appearances when you can get in and the floor is very low isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it pans out, maybe it doesn't, but it's still not a bad speculation route to go.
There's a one of the incentive covers for the Wolverine comic, the new Wolverine comic.
Mhm.
Looks badass. It's the adamantium head Patrick Gleason.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look as good close up. It looks a
Oh,
little
okay.
weird. It looks a
Now
little
that
weird, bigger.
Now that I'm
It-
looking at it, yeah, it looks a little weird.
It doesn't make sense bigger. Like smaller, you're like, oh, I could see the adamantium, but then when it's all kind of
Oh.
blended weirdly.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't like the way it looked. It would
And
have
I
been cool
like
if they
the
just would have had the adamantium skeleton without the skin around it. That would have been cool.
and I like the one with him on the cross, but that's a retailer variant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, it is a slim week this week.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, all
I
right,
still
moving
like
on.
I still like this one though. It's nice.
Yeah, this is a beautiful cover. I
Miko
hopefully I can
Cyan.
find it. I will pay $50 for this cover because I need this cover in my collection. This will look nice in a slab. I know this.
Oh,
will.
I
What, this
will.
profane
I will
cover?
find it and I will pay for this because, like I said, I love her work. And
I agree.
collect a lot of her stuff. So
I messaged my guy. I'll let you know if he gets any.
Cool.
there's a Scotty Young Ain't No Grave coming out this week, a 1 in 25.
Mhm.
Ugh,
Yeah,
that was
he had
another
a
one that sold out quick.
Scotty.
Yeah.
He had a store exclusive on his shop for Scotty Young shop exclusive.
Yeah, it's gonna come out. If anybody missed that one in 25 for issue number 5, I think it's dropping Monday or Tuesday.
I think it's Monday.
Wednesday? Yeah.
Monday. I think it's Monday.
Ooh, some
So.
of these turtles covers is good too.
Graded video games.
Oh, here we go.
Covers always bore
Here
me.
we go. Sticks, take out your games you have laying around. We have Fire Emblem, a VG8 9.95 mint sealed, released in 2003 for the Game Boy Advance, sold for $6,000.
Wow.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Good golly. That's a
I,
lot.
I don't remember playing this game, so I don't know.
Yeah, Fire Emblem has always been a one of the top
2003.
JRPGs.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, I gave up on Game Boy when they went. I don't remember. I think the
I used-
last Game Boy game I played was Pokemon Yellow. When
I
Pikachu
remember
was your-
playing Fire Emblem.
I never owned a Game Boy.
Probably got each Game Boy that ever came out, so but I never played this game.
Then we have Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance WADA 9.8 near mint, released in 2002 for Game Boy Advance, sold for $812.
That was a good game too.
Wow.
Game Boy Advanced. They went through so many iterations of Game Boy.
Yep.
Then we have Legend of Zelda, the Minish
Cap.
Cap. VGA 9.0, very fine near mint sale.
I have this one.
Well, we can very fine near mint sale for near mint plus seal. Wait, seal? All right. Released in November 04, Game Boy Advance, sold for $22.50. You have this?
I have this game.
Sell
Yeah.
it. Oh, you had it.
No, I still have it.
Oh, what are you doing? Sell it. Sell it.
I don't know where it is, but I have it.
Then we have Mario Kart Super Circuit VGA 9.0, released in 7/21/01, Game Boy Advance, sold for $1,000.
Whew. I forgot they
That's
had
when
Mario Kart.
they were using link cables with the Game Boy Advance. You can
Mhm.
link up with a buddy.
Yep.
I just called out a Friday night. For Flops fans, Toxic Summer number 3 cover B open orders out this week. Sticks has a Zelda costume that is what he meant. No, I can see Sticks' links, not Zelda's links.
Going around breaking pots.
Yeah, and shooting arrows,
Cutting
Making bad
grass.
sound effects.
and riding a little tiny
Pretending
horse.
he's the guy from Police Academy.
Motormouth Jones.
Then we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team Water 9.8, released in 2005, Game Boy Advance, sold for $16.87.
This was a horrible game. Isn't that one of the better Pokemon games?
Yeah, I don't think any of these Mystery Dungeon games were good, from what I understand from
No,
people.
not worth $1,600.
God, every Pokemon game I buy my son when he was into Pokemon just seemed the same.
Yeah. The only Pokemon game I ever enjoyed playing was Pokemon Stadium, and that was on the N64.
I hear somebody yelling, Pokemon is great no matter what game it is.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching him play and stuff like that. It kept me interested. I just didn't understand why all the games just felt so similar.
If he likes those games, let him like them.
No, that's all I care about.
Yeah. All
now
right. Then we
I have
have
5 binders full of Pokemon cards that I don't know what to do with.
I'm
right,
in the
now
same boat. I don't know.
now we're gonna look at some, I guess, cartoon inspired comics, because Joe did a great job of doing comic book cartoon inspired comics on
Part 2.
The Qualified. Part 2. There's a part
Part
1. So if you haven't seen those, go over to Renovision and watch part 1 and part 2. Great covers, great comics. So I thought I would do a little market report on some of these good covers. So we have The Simpsons comics number 1 from 1993 and 98 white pages, sold for $456 recently. As you can see, this is a high for the last couple of months.
That is a Fantastic Four homage.
Yes.
And
there are 2,833 graded copies of this book. Over 1,000 9.8s of this book.
Yeah, BK'd have to have a friend first.
BK has friends.
Really? I'd be
That's
surprised.
so surprising.
Oh yeah,
because these books were a lot of these books were beaten up pretty bad.
Yeah, they were. These were a lot of kids had these books.
Oh yeah, these were on the kid rack, and they
little dirty kids' hands touching them,
and they'd be there for months in those little racks, and they'd be bent over half the time. Yeah, like they're trying to commit suicide and jump out of there.
Yeah,
get me out of here!
I want to go. Then we have America's Best TV Comics from 1967, a CGC 9.6 white pages, sold for $384. We got Mr. Fantastic, King Kong, Fantastic Four, Spidey, Journey to the Center of the Earth, George of the Jungle on the cover. ABC animated Power Pack lineup. You just can't miss.
This is a UK comic, I believe.
No, it's the same. It's in sense.
Maybe they just had one similar. Maybe their covers were just
until last year, the highest value for this comic was 300. 372. 384 when it sold. This is the highest graded, 384.
I think you can find if you can find a lot of if you can find one of these in a nice high grade somewhere. I don't think they're too bad of investment to have.
Yeah, I would love to have this. There's only 147 grades, a little probably like 39 sixes, probably 1 or 2 198 in this grade. What? Them dirty kids.
Get your hands off my comics, you damn dirty kids.
That got dark. 60s Marvel animation finally coming to streaming in this. What? I want to see Thor.
I used to wake up to that. That's what I used to wake up to in high school. They'd run that at like 5 a.m. My TV was my alarm clock. I had to alarm it to be able to turn on. Yeah. That's what I'd wake up to every single morning. That Iron Man.
Watch out for that tree. Oh, I like to
I
call
got
it.
you. I got
That-
your tree in my pocket. Anyway.
I call it a trunk. But let's move on.
Oh,
We got Simpsons comic and stories #1 from 1993 at 9.8 white pages, sold for $3.36. As you can see, this is usually in the range of $2.15 to $2.63. They are close to 269.8.
And I'm trying to remember whether I think this might be the first Simpsons comic book, not the regular series #1. But
Right. Yeah, I believe so.
First comic appearance of the Simpsons. Poly bag with a poster, poly bag removed.
yeah, I remember this comic book. We sold a shit ton of these at the shop I worked for.
Oh yeah, Simpsons were so. I mean, they still kind of are, but they were very popular back then.
Well, no, I
Spider-Man has
remember this
amazing
particular
friends.
cover right here. We sold a shit ton of that one.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I like a lot of the manga comic, the Simpsons stuff, but I love when I can score some Futurama stuff.
Ashley Jackson. How did Madeline Pryor have Jean Grey's powers when she stole her identity? Because Madeline Pryor was an exact clone of Jean Grey, so she had the same mutant abilities.
The moment that Jean Grey died as the Dark Phoenix, Madeline Pryor woke up with her powers
Although I do have a feeling that
in a clone tank.
Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor had something different.
Oh, jeez. Don't besmirch Jedi's record, all right, buddy? I will die on a hill for Jedi. Thank you for your service, Jedi. Don't listen to this guy. His mother just let him use the internet today. They didn't trust me with potato peel. I thought Madeline she's the clone.
Madeline is the clone, yeah.
Yeah.
So, next up, we have Donald Duck Fun Book #2 from 1954 at 9.2 off pages, sold for $1,200.
You know, some of these, I swear, when I get back into collecting these books, I'm going to collect some of these Golden Age Dells.
I hope you have some money, because
they go for a lot of fucking money, man.
They are pricey, and even in really shit lower grades, the really early ones are pricey.
There's a store by me that they have a whole section of these Dell Disney books, and they're so beat up. Which I'm trying to get
Nightshade or whatever that place is called.
Dix should come to the store. I'm keep trying to get him here.
Is that newer one? The one that's only open on one Saturday a month?
Oh, it's first and third Saturday of the month.
I'm still trying to unload my little Lulus.
So they will open this week. They won't be open again until the 21st. We won't be in town. So if you want to go October 5th, we can go to 5th.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, you're welcome, Ashley. Jeans carpet. Oh, whoa. Come on.
It's good to know.
He's talking about her cape.
Did I ever tell you look like a penis with a little hat on?
That's why Madeline shaved.
They used potato pillars. My dad and grandpa were Dutch Navy and used only a knife. Ooh, hardcore. Calling out Jedi and his potato pillar.
Maddie would have had to shave. Did you see what anyway?
That's Canadian Dutch though.
And Joe talked about this book on Friday. Hanna-Barbera Super TV #3, Gold Key from 1968 at 9.8, sold for $1,560. There are only 60 on the census.
Really?
We have 198. We have about 1394s, 696s, and the rest are lower grades.
Yeah, this Dell run was great. I think it only went 6 or 7 issues for the Hanna-Barbera TV superheroes, but they're all great covers and all good fun.
I don't know if I have this one. I have the first two. I think I know I have the first one. Anyway.
I did not tell Ashley to say that. I we're blaming you. If it wasn't for, I would collect our Army at War and Fiction House stuff. Oh, good.
I love Fiction House stuff.
If I wasn't poor, I'd be collecting original ECs.
But I'll tell you what, Terry, if you're willing to go the pulp route, Fiction House has great stuff in pulp. Planet Stories was put out the same time as Planet Comics and has amazing covers, and you can still find them very reasonably.
Yeah, I will be giving classes on comic book characters later on in the week if you want to sign up. No, Dutch Navy. He was born in Holland.
It's a trap.
Space Ghost. We got Shazam. I love Shazam. Birdman, not the freaking Friday night Comedy Central Birdman or whatever it was. Young Samson and Goliath.
It's not Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Wow, so bad.
Oh, it was so fantastic.
Have book.
Yeah, that's a
great show.
Great show. I mean, holy cow.
I don't watch it, so I don't know. I'm just saying it was bad.
No, it was fantastic.
I think you'd like it. You'd like it.
It was.
And that was Cartoon Network Adult Swim, Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I watch anime. Adult Swim to anime is like child's play. All right, come on. All right, next up, we have Mighty Mouse and Del Giant number 43. Sorry about that. 1961 CGC 9/8 off-white pages. So for $16.80, there are only 24 graded copies of this book, and only $198.
Which is great because Mighty Mouse goes back a ways. I mean, Mighty Mouse goes way, way back in the golden age. So that's, I mean, that's a beautiful 9/8 to find.
Might
find
have
a
came
Dell
out,
in 9/8 is nice.
Might have came out like right after Superman.
Yeah, it was like 41 or 42, something around there.
42.
I don't know. We need an artist, a digital artist, or a someone that can do Mighty Mouse, but have Pete's head on it as cosplay Mighty Mouse. That'd be awesome.
Great. When they rebooted that as a cartoon, Ralph
flash.
Bashki redid it as a cartoon. That was so good. So damn good.
Here I come to save the day.
Mighty Mouse is on his way.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I have a few Mighty Mouse comics. I don't have this one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse is here for you.
I think I want to look for some Dell.
He'll be out of IP, so the patent should run off of Mighty Mouse pretty soon.
No, that means a Mighty Mouse horror movie's coming. Mighty Mouse versus Bambi.
No, we're getting the Bambi movie put out by the them weirdos that did Blood and Honey.
I heard Blood and Honey 2 was really good.
Yeah, because Blood and Honey 1 made enough money that they could increase the budget for Blood and Honey 2.
Yeah. I do want to see the Bambi one.
They got a Bambi one and a
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio and a
Steamboat Willie.
the Steamboat Willie one isn't even
Steamboat Mickey.
That one's not put out by the guys that did the
No,
the different
Blood and Honey though. The Blood and Honey crew is doing
they're doing a whole universe.
Yeah, the monster symbol or whatever.
They're doing Bambi.
Hold on, let me think. They're doing Bambi.
You can't think when we're talking.
Jesus
Multitask,
Christ,
sir. Multitask.
They're doing Bambi. They're doing
Snow White?
and they're doing Peter Pan. That's what I couldn't think of. Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
You can't screw it up any worse than they did the last time they put out a Peter Pan movie.
Yeah. The only Peter Pan movie I wanted is Peter and the Starcatchers. So
We have Walt Disney Comics and Stories number 3 from Dell, 1940, at CGC 5.5, white pages. So for $1,080,
white pages?
there are only 47 on the census. The highest known graded copy is a 9.2.
Yeah, these early Dells
from 1940.
Yeah, these early Dells before you had the big Dell symbol up in the top left or whatever.
Yeah,
man, if you find any of these Walt Disney ones from back then, just you get a good price on them, pick them up. They always seem to sell really, really well.
I've seen a lot of these at times when I used to go to the antique shops with my dad. There'd be like a stack of these in the corner, and I just never thought about them at the time. Should have.
I watch the heritage auctions quite often, and I'm never ceases to amaze me how the older Disney stuff, especially if it's in decent condition,
Well,
goes for a grip. Even stuff in really bad condition, I've seen 1.0s go for,
like I said,
ton of
we were
money.
doing these antique store dives, 20 years ago, and I didn't think that any of these Disney comics would be worth anything. And now
Nobody
I
did.
come on and I start watching YouTubers, comic book YouTubers, and this is some of their like biggest shit right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For the longest
Blows my
time,
mind.
Disney comics weren't considered.
I could have bought
Anything.
several stacks of these for not much money back in the
No,
day, and I never did.
Probably would have given it to you. Yeah, take it.
I just got a notification about Renovision Star Wars show. Are they really allowing Dom to cast a Star Wars movie tonight?
I hope
Oh
so.
Jesus, no!
Jeez, that's gonna be fun.
Donald's big hose is
It'll
dripping.
be-
Yes, Mama Bear, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Dom will be writing how Mari Jade found the
He's a
slave
duck,
Leia
but he's hung
costume
like a
in
goose.
closet.
There's gonna be a
where's
lot
that?
of girl on girl action in Dom's Star Wars universe.
Yeah, he'll be casting a movie. How Boba got his groove back or some shit.
Hey,
Oh,
anytime you've done fan castings, Dom's picks have actually been pretty decent.
Because I will agree with you.
There's some surprise in there. I was always impressed. He always came through with some pretty decent castings.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Next up, Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies Comics 27 from 1944. Did you see 9.6 white pages? So
9.6 white pages.
1320, 9.6 from 1944. Only 9 copies of this comic are graded.
Wow.
There are
Man.
392s,
I'm amazed that's not from a pedigree
196.
collection.
Right.
170, and we have 5 4.0s. And we have Porky, the New Year's baby, I guess.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Boba versus the Solid. That time it's personal.
Yeah.
Don would like Lizzo's Boba Feet. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Bubba Feet instead of Boba Fett.
Boba
Bubba Feet.
Ah,
Is that the old Lizzo or the new Lizzo?
I think he's going to cast
Is there a new
Kathleen
Lizzo?
Kennedy as a Solid.
Well, one of those Lizzles will probably eat the other one, so there'll be one.
We got Ultimate FOC. What is coming out? What is on FOC? Get those orders in by tomorrow night with your local LCS or your local or your online retailer, whichever one you use. So we have Absolute Power 4, the Putrid Raids foil variant.
We got the Von Erich Claw.
The last Raids foil they did was number 2, which was really good. Superman being choked out.
It looked like they were ready to make out.
Nah. Absolute Power 4, the Suyan variant. I like pussies.
It'd be nice if it would show up. There we go.
Multiverse Collision Detection number 2, the 1 in 25 Samar River incentive.
Samar River.
Bugs and Bat.
Oh God.
With Witch
It's
Hazel
the
in the background.
Bugsy Bat.
Bugsy Bat.
Mhm.
Bat bugs.
I hate all the weird crossovers.
It has a witch and a moon.
This
Look, in the
one,
back.
this one's based on the
The game
Mobile game.
Multiverses.
Yeah.
mobile
game.
game. Yeah,
It's not a mobile game. It's
it's a
It's
mobile
a
game.
game.
It is a mobile and PC.
It's a mobile
Well,
game
there-
also?
Isn't
Yeah,
there
it's
going
mobile
to be? Isn't
Oh, I
there
didn't know
supposedly
that.
going to be a code in some of in the?
That's what they said. I
Yes.
haven't heard
Yeah.
whether it was
I
true or not.
believe in the Batman incentive, and then there's one in the Bugs Bunny incentive.
Yeah, I mean, I know how well those Fortnite ones sold when those first came out.
They sold a ton of money.
Mhm.
Oh my god! Considering the Sonic is a giant hole that sucks in and destroys men, cast the Kardashian. Chloe can play this perfectly.
Ooh,
What you think?
Kardashian for the Sarlacc.
Yeah, it has to be. If we're casting a Kardashian, it has to be Kim. Anyway, let's go.
We have Shazam 16 in Jakari variant. I love Mary Marvel in this.
I like this cover.
Yeah, I like Mary Marvel covers, so I'll probably get it.
I prefer
Yeah.
Mary Marvel. In the
Oh,
white
I forgot to. If you haven't noticed, as you transition across the screen, the symbol for DC changes to the old DC logo again.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, DC logo.
It's not necessarily. It's slightly tweaked. It's not necessarily the old one,
Slightly tweaked,
but it's
Close enough.
definitely a callback to the old one.
It's a lot better than the last logo.
Yes.
Then we have Batman 153.
See,
That
Cover
is
A.
the old logo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Why are they calling the new
All in.
DC All In?
Because they have to come up with something every time they do some type of reboot.
Because they want anyone that can come all in with the new series and pick up a book.
Because when you go to the LCS, you're gonna have to buy all of them. And you got to be all in.
Yeah. And we got the Clark variant.
The what?
We got Batman 153 Trick or Treat variant.
I like the Bat Knight look on that one. That one's cool.
And the 1 in 25 Madrazo. Ooh.
First, I like that Joker. I like that
Where is
Joker.
it?
I like the Joker the best.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, Batman on a gargoyle.
Oh,
What? That's never happened before. What are you talking
Batman
about?
on another gargoyle. Oh, yay.
It's a good cover, but again, it's Batman on a goddamn gargoyle.
Ooh, does that mean they're going to be a one night in a solid? One night in a Kardashian. Like, who's seen that? Raise your hand.
Nope. I don't know what a Kardashian is.
What? That's how I was introduced. They were $5 a piece on the streets of Brooklyn, on the corner.
You don't know what a Kardashian is? How can you be alive, Sticks, and not know what a Kardashian is?
That was my first introduction
I don't
to
watch.
Paris
I don't watch
Hilton.
something.
Paris
I don't watch
Hilton people out there too.
reality TV. So
One
It's an
night.
Eastern European subcompact.
I don't watch.
Sedan.
I don't watch that kind of TV either. But you hear the name Kardashian all over.
He doesn't watch it. He makes it a lifestyle. What are you talking about? That's
I'm too busy watching British sci-fi. So
I watch a
All right,
lot of
moving
British sci-fi
on.
too, and I still know what the hell a Kardashian is.
Poison Ivy 26, the Nubovich
I like
variant.
that a lot.
Ooh, I like that.
The Trick or Treat variant.
I don't like the trick or
I
treat
don't
variants
like
at
that.
all.
The 1 in 25 full
Ooh,
Mara.
angry Ivy.
very demonic.
It is good. I
Not
mean,
from here.
at least they made her sexy in this because he tends to make the sexy characters grotesque a lot. At least they kept the sexiness to this, so I'm okay.
They might leave Harley alone. The great cover. We have Poison Ivy 26, the 1 in 50 prison incentive. I believe this is a foil.
I think that's the one I like the most.
The tangerine variant.
Some clementines I want to pick.
They were the villains on D Space Nine.
No, that was the Kardashians.
Kardashians.
Big difference.
Six is busy getting blue light specials and watching Matlock and Murder She Wrote.
Hey,
Wow.
Matlock is coming
Matlock
back.
was not a bad series.
I
was
would
Murder She
trust-
Wrote.
Look,
Madeline Matlock. Let's go.
I would trust a Kardashian versus a Kardashian any day. Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought for the longest time it was a Star Trek. Then we have Birds of Prey 14. So the Micah.
Doing a fan dance.
First,
that's
the
not bad.
Acuna variant. Trick or Treat variant.
Yeah.
I do not like this.
And we have EC Cruel Universe 3, the 1 in 10 Stephens EC homage incentive.
All the
I
J.
love that.
Stevens.
I
all
love
the
that
J.
cover.
Stevens one. There's
love
all
that.
the 110s for the series have his art, and they're all fantastic.
So have they like revived DC Comics now? Or
It's through Oni Press, but
It's through
yeah,
Oni?
Oni Press publishes it. But yeah, that's basically the goal is EC style.
have they come out? Have they come out with like new Tales from the Crypt yet?
No,
That's
there's-
Image.
They
Image
have
owns
two
it.
titles right now. There's Epitaphs of something and
Cruel Universe.
Because I want brand new Tales from the Crypt stories. That would be nice.
They have done Tales from the Crypt on Image.
Did Image?
Yeah, I don't know who holds the license. The licensing is weird with all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a new Tales from the Crypt coming soon from Image.
Well, there's Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Because I know that they did Creep
Dark
Show.
hold it.
Creep Show is what they're redoing Creep Show again.
Which the Creep Show was Stephen King though. I want some more actual EC fucking Tales from the Crypt stories. That'd be nice.
Terry Floyd, did you know there was a show about a junk man that goes to the moon to get all the junk NASA left?
Yes.
What was the name of it?
I don't remember, but I do recall that show. I just don't remember the name of it.
Sanford and Son go to the moon.
Venom 38, the 1 in 100, the Lotto incentive. There's a trade dress for this.
Oh no! Okay. Don't put the trade dress on it. Ew.
Trade dress is $4.
No.
This is going to be like $150.
Yeah. The answer is don't put 1 in 100 incentive where you've already got a trade dress out.
Yeah.
Then we have Fantastic Four 26, the Doom variant. This is a great cover.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ross.
And I'm not even a huge Doom fan.
No, that's not Ross.
That's exactly.
I know Ross was doing a lot of the A covers for variant.
Let me see if I can find it.
It looks exactly like the throne room from Fortnite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I downloaded on Fortnite.
I know.
I just haven't played.
I always like a good Doom cover.
But I'm playing Astrobot.
Cover.
So much better. Should watch my stream sticks.
I didn't know you streamed.
I streamed the other night. During SNS, I was streaming.
I was on SNS.
Well, you go back and watch it now. How's that?
Fine. I'll go and watch it on the replay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't be a dom.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna watch it.
There wasn't enough aliens in this game for me. What the hell is it?
That's Ben Harvey.
Epitaphs from the Abyss is the other EC title that they're doing.
Epitaphs from the Abyss. Okay, that's a Ben Harvey cover. That Fantastic Four, the Doom variant.
Ben Harvey.
Ben Harvey.
Because I thought Ross was doing all the A covers for.
No, this is a C or a B cover, I believe.
This is a C cover. Yeah, C cover.
Starring Andy Griffin. Did Alice ever get to the moon?
Nope, but damn if he didn't try.
Yep.
Then we have Ultimates number 5, the 1 in 25 Sequera incentive. I like this.
Sequera.
I just don't like the book in general.
Then we have Inhuck Lee variant, the first appearance of Hawkeye in the Ultimate Universe.
Why'd they got that Chinese bowl cut though?
I think he has a bandana deal going on there.
Is it a bandana?
No. Yeah.
No, that's his hair.
That's his hair. Oh yeah, it is just.
Yeah, he's
weird.
It's a native haircut.
The name of that show that has
from Detroit.
The name of the show that she mentioned is called Salvage One. With Andy Griffith going to the moon, salvaging stuff from the moon. Yeah, it's called Salvage One.
So we have Ahsoka 4 concept art variant. I like this cover.
Ooh,
it's simple.
It's got that
nice.
Barack guy from Ahsoka.
The guy couldn't even fly a plane without dying.
The character that everyone thought was somebody, but wasn't anybody.
Yeah, it was just green smoke and a mask.
Well, we'll never know because he.
If you don't have my Barbarella on your FOC list, I'm coming to New York.
What are you talking about over here?
What is fucking over here? It's fucking guy over here.
I'm gonna sting you in like a week and a half. Stop. Holy crap!
Fucking guy over here.
We got Exceptional X-Men number 2, another Doom variant. This is a homage to something, right? Am I wrong?
That is an homage.
Wasn't a Galactus? No, not Galactus cover. What was it?
It feels like it should be, but
I think it's a Galactus cover. Looks like a Galactus. Hold on. Let me see if
so
I can
everybody
find it.
can find out.
Exceptional number 2. Hold on.
I don't think they'll tell you which homage it is.
Yeah.
But you can look.
is that it's a Dodson? Yeah. That's a Dodson cover.
Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood number 3, the 1 in 100, John Boy Myers.
It's an all right cover.
Yep. Then we have Phoenix number 4, the 1 in 50 Darbo incentive. Why is Phoenix still in space? Somebody tell me.
I think my girl also has a variant on that one, on Phoenix 4.
Then we have Creeping Below number 1, the 1 in 25 Deodato incentive.
Yeah, the black and white on this looks real sharp.
Then we have the FOC reveal. I like the black and white.
Yeah.
What's the?
Then we have Red Sonja, Death and Devil number 2, the 1 in 25 Moritat incentive. Just a little top heavy.
Yeah, Death by Cleavage right there.
Hey man, you got chain metal holding it up. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think those chain metal is gonna rub off a nipple.
I'm not finding that except.
I'm telling you, Babs is a fantastic series. I love that series.
The John Denver guy was full of shit.
And then we have Vampirilla, Dark Reflections, number 5, Perillo Limited variant.
Perilla's been on a tear lately.
Yeah.
Was that exceptional number 2 for that Doom variant?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm not finding that cover.
Oh, it's on FOC. It's not going to be on that site.
Yeah, but the Doom cover was on FOC. Was on this site. The exceptional isn't. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Hold on, I found it.
It's E, not X.
Dodson.
Seem to need a little more help with your internet.
Then we have.
Yeah. I'm still learning this. I'm still learning this one. Dude,
A, B, C, C, D. Oh, sorry.
You know
DC
what?
All In special number 1.
You know what?
Cover A. It's a flip book. Flip it upside down. We have the regular universe on one side. Flip it over, it becomes absolute. Then we have the Craig variant.
I gotta get that one just for booster though.
Then we have the Sandoval. Sandoval's awesome.
It better be a booster gold cover. Beside that A cover.
Then we have the Sandoval foil. There's a foil, 1 in 25. I believe it's a one. This is
F the foil. What's next?
When Batman is in space, flying through space, it just feels dumb to me.
What, the foil?
No, when Batman's flying, the cover prior. When Batman's flying through space, doing things in space.
It's a suit on.
I know.
It's a space suit on.
It just feels stupid to me. He's a man. Stay on Earth.
We have the 1 in 25 Jiang incentive. This is nice.
Not what I want. Keep going. What else they got?
Then we have the logo variant, which I like.
Oh,
I love this blue.
I hate logo variants. It's just...
I know you do, but this is nice.
It's pretty and blue.
The chainmail is enchanted, can handle Sonya's blessings.
I know. Sonya only sleeps with a man if he can best her in battle.
Whoa, hey.
It's true. It's Sonya lore.
That sounds like a saying from Arkansas or Arizona or some shit. I will sleep with you. You can hold me down, sir.
Not Arizona, Alabama, damn it.
Same difference. It's the Northwest, Midwest, whatever, where it is.
Hey, don't you
Alabama, whatever.
Southwest.
That's the
Southwest. Southwest.
Southeast. That's the
Southwest
Southeast.
Alabama. That's what it is.
Southwest Alabama. No, it is not. Arizona's not as backward as Alabama.
It's just as hot.
There's nothing wrong with Alabama.
No.
There's nothing wrong with Alabama.
Heat. Alabama's wet and hot.
Listen, I've been to Alabama quite a few times.
Just like the football team.
Not for the place
I
live in.
Not a fun place. We have Sentinels number 1, cover A.
The book nobody asked for.
The Windows Shades variant.
Nobody ever asked for this shit, Joe. Come on.
It's more like a
the 1 in 25 Shah incentive.
Sure.
I don't know. Do spaceships have window shades?
Yeah, I
And
don't
we
know.
have the 1 in 100 Wilson Virgin incentive. There's
I'm passing on all of these.
yeah, I'm not reading this.
I like the Sentinel with the skull. I'm all right with that, but that's just a portion of that cover
I'll end up reading this, unfortunately. Anyway.
that if they had a blank for it, I'd probably have
I
that.
just
drawn on
don't understand why they launched these 40,000 goddamn titles. It's none of them ever take, and then they cut the run short.
There's only 5 or 6 X books right now.
A lot.
No, is that
5
all?
or 6. That's it. Yeah.
Don't forget,
I remember when there was only 3.
Are you including Wolverine
there's
titles?
like
Are
20.
you including
Psylocke
Wolverine
is
titles
coming.
and Jean Grey titles?
Ewoks number
No.
1.
Book yet.
Cover A.
That's an
I'm
homage
not
to
reading this.
Shooting 91.
Unless they're going to eat people in it,
The
I'm not reading this shit.
JTC variant.
Who
The
the
Lopez
fuck puts
variant.
out an Ewok book, man?
And the 1 in 50 Harvey incentive.
Again,
had that-
unless
I
they're
would
eating
go.
people, I don't want to read it.
I'm
Yeah.
with Joe. Unless they're eating people, or we get a Ewok Jedi, I don't care.
This book is going to fly off the shelves. Bob.
I want the story of
I like
how
it.
they got the dress that they gave to Leia. That's what I want.
Exactly.
They look like Valiant books.
It dresses a little too big for Tila. So
Then we have DC Horror presents Creature Commandos number 1. It's a mouthful.
Nisa.
Cover A.
Ugh. Okay.
Another book nobody asked for.
Yeah, it was a
Hey,
fucking-
I like Creature Commandos.
Okay, this one
Allard
sucks.
variant. Jim Lee variant.
I like
Yeah.
that Jim Lee variant.
All right.
Then we have a 1 in 25 Jim Lee.
I'm
It's in the
disappointed.
black and
That
white.
Jim Lee variant is a Wildcats homage.
I'm disappointed in these covers.
That's that Adlard is not good.
It's Creature Commandos. You're launching a show and stuff like that. I want to be wowed by the covers.
I'd rather
I'm not
have
wowed
one
by
where
any of this.
at least have a character cover, like one of Frankenstein, and
So let's
next
see,
issue have one of Medusa, and
We've got Frankenstein,
Oh, they're not on
Medusa,
the team.
Dracula, and
The
the
books.
Wolfman, huh?
they're on the cover. What do you mean they're not on the team?
What are you talking about? What are you
You
talking
got
about?
Frankenstein right there, Medusa, the Wolf.
Medusa
whatever that
said
other
he's
guy
not
is.
going to be on the show. The only one that's going to be on the show is Frankenstein.
I think.
The rest of these characters aren't going to be on the show.
I don't care. You can still get people
Well,
interested
then
in
don't.
the
This
concept.
You just made it null and void. Then
All right.
People aren't
All
going
right.
back to find Weird War. You know.
What? Slay is a woman. You don't think she at least had a travel bag with her?
She was. Oh, they were captured. I would think. I just want to see the woman that was eaten by the Ewoks, where they got the dress from.
You just want to see the Ewoks eat the woman.
I do. I just want to see Ewoks eat people. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Then we have Barbarella number 1. There was way too many covers to cover, so I did a few.
Well, but you can really just choose like 5 or 4, and that's the whole all the
Cover
art.
A. The Liz.
There it is. That
The
Linzer
1 in
is
7
gorgeous.
Morozova.
That Lisner is good. That
And the
Lisner
1 in
is
20 Pace. The rest of the covers were just
I
variations
don't like
of
that
these.
pace, man.
The
but I like that
Lisner,
Lisner.
I don't mind the pace, but the Lisner in the
No.
Virgin cover is a beautiful, beautiful book. You take that trade dress off, it is a gorgeous book. And
no
it will be-
70s cover.
No.
That reminds me, that Lisner cover.
Well, the A
reminds
cover
me
is
of,
kind of a 7. Well, not the Fonda Barbarella cover, no.
That Lisner cover reminds me, if you take the trade dress off of it, it reminds me of the old like sci-fi paperback covers that you would get like in the 70s and 80s.
Hmm.
It's kind of the same style.
Like a heavy metal cover.
And there is a cosplay variant as well.
Okay.
There's also a cosplay variant for that Sonya too.
For those who like those things. Every now and then I enjoy. I will tell you what, Hard Case Crime is, well, they're not only doing another gun hunting series, but they're also doing another Minky Woodcock series. And the cosplay covers, well, they're photo covers for the A and B or the first issue and second issue are outstanding. They are professionally done. They're very nice.
I'm pitching five
five
Ewoks.
Ewoks.
Yeah. Walked. Is that the name of that title? Walked.
Yeah, walked.
Then we have Hyde Street #1, cover A.
This book seems to have a little hype with that ash can that came out.
Yep, Anderson variant.
Creepy.
The 1 in 25 Kelly incentive. The 1 in 50 Diodato incentive.
I'm happy we're getting more horror titles that are. It seems
this
to be
a
making a nice
zombie
little
book?
comeback.
Is this a zombie book of some sort?
It's after a nuclear war. They're building a whole universe with a character called Geiger.
Oh, Geiger. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And then we
Jeff
have
Johns universe.
the 1 in 100 Reese incentive. And this is the kicker, guys. I was not expecting this. A 1 in 1,000 Reese original art incentive, 1 per store.
How do
This
you?
is not
That doesn't
final
make any
art,
sense.
guys.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does.
Because how do you have a 1 per store that's a 1 in 1,000? One or the other.
Oh,
Pick a lane, because if it's 1 in 1,000, it's not 1 per store. If it's 1 per store, it's not 1 in 1,000.
I suppose they could cap it at 1,000.
They could. But
that would be limited to
1,000
1,000, not 1 in 1,000.
Who's ordering 1,000 copies of Hyde Street?
Nobody, and that has to be a misprint in terms of the way they put that out, because there's no way they did it that way.
Yeah. So
it's probably just a 1 per store.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 1 in 1,000.
Maybe limited to 1,000, 1 per store.
That's a huge jump to go from a 1 in 25 to only 1 in 50, 1 in 100 to a 1 in 1,000.
It's not Berserker.
Ridiculous.
People aren't going to be buying that many copies of that.
And then returning them because it was 100% returnable.
Yeah.
Stupid move there, buddy.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So, I want to thank everyone for hanging out. Thank you, Sticks. Thank you, Tate. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Ron, if you're watching. Thank you.
Read Conan. Read Conan. It's a good book.
Please hit that like button on the way out the door. We will be back tomorrow night with Monday Madness. Yay, Monday Madness. Let's see what happens between now and Monday. Let's go, Beetlejuice. So,
get 12 hours.
It seems to be doing okay. I think the buzz is okay. It's not fantastic buzz. Like, oh, this is great and it's must see, but it's been solid. Most people that have seen it, there we go.
Buzz.
The original movie didn't get awesome buzz either.
I don't understand how she has a 6-pack with that type of thickness.
I don't know.
But I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Are you down with the thickness, Joe?
I am down with the thickness.
So, have a good night. Take care and eat your Wheaties.